Oh, my goodness. We're going to be on time. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We did it. Holy shite-oly. We did it. Good evening, all 5 of you. How can we had 4 viewers and 6 likes. How is that possible? Oh, 6 viewers. Oh, shit, it's happening. Kate Gordon, James Hobart. You guys can't see Matt Souza, but you'll see his work and you will hear his voice. We have a call-in number at the top, 928-583-3903. I am so excited. Not about this show, but about my 2 shows tomorrow. It is 7:01 p.m. Sorry, guys, we switched the time on this show so many times. It's 7:01 p.m. on the west coast of the North American continent. Kate is in the world's largest prison. What time is it there?
It is 1:01 p.m.
1:01. Oh, you went inside.
Yeah, I decided to move away. It's still noisy. I'm going to go and shut the door in a second.
Do you have enough battery power? Are you plugged in? You know James is verbose as shit. This show's going to go on forever.
I'm plugged in now, like quite literally.
I don't know if Manny's a regular listener, but I just love Corey, Hector, and Jessica. They're just like, I don't even think they're real people. They're just bots that are just somehow YouTube just gives them to us every show. No one could be as consistent as them. Nobody. Although I think Jessica's called in before. She might be real. Oh, Souza, Corey wanted to help with the show. Did we... by the way, I spoke to Caleb today, Matt, and told him, like, dude, you don't want to be a part of this show. It's like, just work. And I am not nice, but he's insisting. So he started making us Instagram clips. You guys, for those of you who want to, like hitch yourself to this band, to this wagon, basically what Matt Souza is doing right now is he's in the back end and he listens to stuff. So if James Hobart says his favorite planet is holy shit, and there he is. Like a genie lamp, Brian Friend, bam. I was just rubbing my scrotum and he appeared like a genie. Like a genie lamp.
James, every year for Halloween, I always grow my hair and my beard out, and that way I have a lot of options, and I can always rein it back into whatever I need.
Hi, Brian.
Brian, do you know Kate Gordon?
I know who she is. Hi.
Oh my God! I'm sweating. I'm blushing. This is too good to be true. I'm at peace. I'm at one. You guys, the call-in number 928-583-3903. This is the news show. Before we start, does anyone want to say anything? Yes, Hector. Wow, Brian, we've missed you. Oh, this is what I was going to say. This thing... So did you see how Matt Souza just put up that Teen Wolf graphic? I need someone who is just a maniac who can be on every one of my shows with me to do that. You basically just have to, like, whenever I want to do a show, you have to stop your life and you have to jump on and do it. And that's like, and I just need you for like 360 more shows till I quit. Or if we become rich, I'll like pay you some money, like $5 or something. So that's how that works. And we lost Kate.
Yep. Maybe 20 minutes.
That's a great question, Hobart. Hey, Brian, do you want to talk about your day before we start? I would like I would like you to.
Well, ask me a question then.
So I was just on your Instagram, and it looks like they're trying to cancel you. Cancel you. Are you getting canceled? I fucking hope you get canceled.
Who's canceling me?
I hope you get canceled like you got kicked out of the fucking games and you had to spend all your games week with fucking me. And I hope you get fucking canceled so you have to do every one of my fucking podcasts. And I can treat you like shit. What happened, Brian? Why are you getting canceled?
I think that is what you wish for based on the comments you made.
I just want what I want. I want to get what I want. We lost Kate. Do you guys see Kate, the beautiful Kate?
Have I? I can hear you guys.
so we can't see. As soon as I said I was rubbing my scrotum and Brian appeared, she turned off her camera. What happened? How can that article, basically what it sounds like, and I haven't seen any of the comments, but you basically came on on your Instagram and said, hey, I never thought I'd be doing this, but like I want to respond to the accusations that my article regarding Matt Fraser and Tia Toomey is sexist. And basically Brian made an article that was basically candy for CrossFit Games fans, where he discussed the there he is. By the way, you look buff. Are you doing Hobart's strength program? You seriously look, your arms look kind of big.
I finished it. I have testing this week.
Oh, nice. And good job, Hobart. One of your students is looking buff. And he has. Oh, awesome. Hobart's audio is fucked up. I love it. The curse of Brian, friend. And so basically, I don't know how that article could be sexist, but you came on there, and I listened to your whole article, and like it didn't even sound like you were defending yourself for being sexist. Like I don't even know what's going on, but I just love the drama. Like I'm just like, I bet you this will get this video 500 to 1,000 more views at an hour long each. That's like $50, and that's real money to me because that's half hour of skateboarding lesson for my kid. So what happened? Make it rain money, Brian. How are you, one of the most stoic guys ever, being told that you're sexist? And by the way, Kate and James, did you guys read that article?
No, I'm on his Instagram right now trying to see what's going on. Fill me in.
It's on. It was in the China Morning Post. It was a beautiful article. It's huge.
Not this one. This one was in Morning Chalk-Up.
Oh, it was? Is it a condensed version of the China Morning Post one?
No, it was a follow-up to it.
Okay, my bad. Of course, the Chinese would never accuse Brian of being sexist. Okay, so what's the accusation here?
Is this the analysis? Which number is really great? Toomey's 33 or Fraser's 29?
Yeah, and I don't love the title of it, but that a lot of people I think have taken issue with the title without necessarily reading it, or they'd make a comment and maybe have gone on to read it since then. But there were a lot of people who thought that it was very in bad taste to write that article.
And why? What's in it that was in bad taste?
They just say that, like, basically accusing me of not being able to accept.
Why?
They were basically accusing me of not being able to accept the fact that Tia is better than Matt.
Oh.
That's the accusation.
But in the China Morning Post one, you don't really make a declaration of who's better, as I recall.
Right, and I make a point of clarifying that even in having this conversation, what we're really doing is just celebrating both of them. But those things are overlooked, and people focus on what they want to focus on.
Did you say in the article somewhere? I haven't seen the Morning Chalk-Up one. Did you say in there that Matt was better?
Did you like my comparison between Neil Maddox and Graham Hobart?
Oh, that was awesome. Racist as fuck. You made Graham better than Neil. So racist. Crazy, racist. The whole time in the article, I just thought it was racist and homophobic.
But definitely not sexist.
Is it just coincidence that...
No, you had one dude and one chick. Sorry, Kate. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just looking at your Instagram. It's like 3 posts early, you've got another article saying send more women to the CrossFit Games from Europe. And people are calling you sexist. I'm like, I haven't read the article, but that's kind of funny.
He's a pervert. He wants more women from the European.
Yeah, but don't we all?
Yeah, right. That's true. We're a planet full of perverts. Dude, I interviewed Amanda Levy this morning. Do you guys know who that is?
No.
Do you know who she is, Brian?
I checked her Instagram out, yes.
Yeah. Do you know who she is, Hobart? You guys suck.
He's not here anymore.
You guys suck.
Is she the fighter?
Shit. Thank you. Isn't that sad? Hobart vanished and I don't even know. Hobart, you're the star of the fucking show. Yeah, so basically she's a 24-year-old jiu-jitsu master, right? And you know, she's not considered the best in the world, and but she's considered like in the talk of the future best, right? She's 24. She's fucking amazing. But she went to this tournament, and it's called WNO that Flow Grappling puts on. I'm really getting into this whole Flow Grappling thing, and it's called WNO Who's Number One, and basically they invited 9 jiu-jitsu people there, and or eight female jiu-jitsu people there, a bunch of different weight classes and men and women, and they don't get accused of being sexist like Brian because they include everybody. And they put her, she's 155 pounds and I think she weighed in at about 158 at 5'6", and she went against a woman who was 265 and 6'2". And so
Holy
since she
fuck.
was the worst person in the bracket, she had to go against the best woman in the world. So she went in at number 8, and the chick she went in at was number 1, and she beat her. And it's like this massive upset, massive upset. But it's also pretty amazing to watch her go against a woman who's 100 pounds bigger than her. Super crazy talented.
So did she
Super
just opt
crazy.
in for that?
I wonder if
She just what, Kate?
Did she just opt in to fight someone way bigger than her?
No. She wanted to be in this competition. Was the 8 best women in the world who are 145 pounds or more, and her coach said, "Hey, I know some people over there. I'm going to get you invited."
Wow.
And she got invited, but she was ranked number 8 of the 8 best women in the world over 145, and she won her first match. And the lady who I think, if I was listening closely, yeah, can you guys see this?
Shit.
Yes.
Oh, that lady
Yeah,
is.
she is a giant.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I interviewed the lady on the right.
Yeah.
And and her name's Amanda Levy, and the other girl, the bigger girl who just got her like boobs grabbed, the big one, her name is Gabby Garcia. She hadn't lost. She's lost like 4 or 5 matches in the last 100 matches. She's unbeatable. She's got a funky Instagram account. I wouldn't say it's great. It's funky. It's a trip. It's like weird. It's like part Brooke Ents, part like MMA fighter. It's a trip. It's
She's
trip.
6'2", 265 pounds.
Yes.
6'2". Damn.
Did we resolve the whether or not Brian's sexist thing? Because my internet was being horrific.
Oh no, let's go back to that. Okay, so Brian,
Okay.
so is there any other claims? Did you talk about Tia's ass or ask her like which outfit looked better on her, or the things like that I would be accused of being sexist?
Nope. No.
Did you ask her? Did you talk about her
mentioned the
menstrual
fact.
cycle affecting her performance?
Nope.
Huh, that's weird.
Do you
It's really
do
weird.
you
I'm not-
do you
I'm
think that
struggling.
she's a lesser competitor just because she's female?
Nope.
No. There
I
you
think
go.
she's a
Let's
lesser
move on.
competitor because she hasn't been on my show.
So
How's that?
let's
I'm serious too. I'm not joking.
Yeah, we know. Then let's move on. Let's move on from the internet trolls.
Brian, I have a question for Brian. Though, Brian, why did you even respond to it? I don't even. It's so unlike you. You're so above that shit. You remember that game Joust in the '80s, and you fly like the ostriches and you poke the dudes?
No, none of us were born then.
The reason
Well, it's a fucking.
Sevan, the reason I responded
Yes.
is because I really wish I had included the Graham Holmberg Neil Maddox piece in the actual article.
Oh, you're
that was
so
my way to
lucky
get
you
it in there.
didn't. You're so lucky you didn't. You would have been. That would have been fully.
It's a great example, though.
Fully, but you'd been accused of being racist. In that game,
No
Joust,
one would have accused me of being racist because no one would have read it because it wouldn't have been in the headline.
Is it you that chooses the headline? Like who writes the headline?
Oh, Kate,
No,
this is good. Pursue this.
Not on that one.
Pursue this one, Kate. This is good. This is really going to get them pissed off. Pursue that.
I didn't write the headline, but I did give them the permission to print whatever headline they wanted.
If you could write your own headline, what would it be?
I'd originally had something like "Not all event wins are created equal," an analysis of Fraser and Toomey's event wins in their careers, or something like that.
Hector and Paul, it's not that Brian's mic is low. It's that he's been neutered. They canceled the people are at his doorstep. That's why you can't hear him, because it's fucking like his testosterone is plummeting. In that game Joust from the 80s, you fly these ostriches and you poke the other guys off.
Sevan,
Yes.
I want to hear James's first story.
Okay, I want to tell you about this joust thing real quick, and then we'll do straight to that. If you fly your ostrich too low, there's lava at the bottom of the screen, and these hands will come up and grab your ostrich and pull it under. And that's what happened to Brian. He usually soars high, and he came down low to the lava, and the woke crowd grabbed his fucking shit and pulling on them. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, James.
Well, I want to skip to a different story now.
Okay.
I want to talk about the Vicky Caruso Instagram post. I think you commented on it.
I did, yeah.
Matt, it's like down toward the bottom. I think it's the second to last story, but I want to jump to this, and I kind of want to read it long form. But this is from Vicky Caruso's Instagram. She says, a couple days ago, CrossFit Games, she posted a video of me squatting, hitting a 280-pound clean, which is awesome, by the way. Naturally, the steroid comments came out. That's an ironic sentence. Those comments don't even bother me Those comments don't even bother me anymore. I've been hearing that stuff since I was 10 years old, and my legs were more defined than most professional bodybuilders. And then all throughout running track in college, when I was randomly chosen for drug tests, it doesn't bother me because I had nothing to hide, and I still don't. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm a huge advocate for more drug testing. What bothers me is the fact that when people see someone do something they can't do, especially in the world of fitness, they automatically assume they're taking something. Let's start celebrating people's successes. We need to be positive and supportive of each other and stop comparing people. You have no idea what someone is doing outside of what you see on Instagram. Everything they did working up to that moment, how many hours or days they're in the gym. Maybe they switched up programming or coaching, or they're working with a specialist. She also should have wrote, or maybe they're just better than your shitty little internet troll ass. It doesn't even matter. Just celebrate the fact that this person did something amazing instead of your very first comment and thought being something negative. I just wanted to hear comments.
Her body is so fucking nice. It's fucking nuts. It's like a car in a showroom. It's fucking nuts. That picture's crazy. And her hands, the way they're on her thighs like that. Whoever told her to pose like that.
Yeah.
And then that top with like the line above the top of her boobs or chest, however it's fucking nuts. Her body's nuts.
And
there's another picture
280.
of her ass that she posted.
I had to Google that.
something-
That's so fucking heavy. It's 127 kilos. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's bogus.
What do the games girls do? What do the games girls do?
What was the heaviest clean weight in that clean event, Brian?
Oh, the heaviest one, 235?
235?
240?
No, I think it was more than that.
Right, something over. Maybe 245. I don't think it was above 250.
Hey, so can you go back to her Instagram account? I want to show you something that caught my mind. So it caught me. So there's a picture of her. Find the picture of her ass where you can see her ass separated from her, like her hamstring in definition. And it kind of reminds me of what Brooke Entz said. When Brooke Entz was on the show, on the CrossFit podcast, scroll down a little bit more.
230 pounds, Sevan. 230 pounds.
That's the max. That's like really good for a games athlete, female games athlete.
That was the heaviest bar in their ladder this past.
So Torium Pro,
okay.
the sanctionals, we went up to 245, and some of the individuals and team girls lifted that.
Find how much at the Torium Pro? 255.
245.
245. Just find a picture like where she's showing her ass and her hamstring and her quad. There's some ones where she's turned around, she's facing the camera. Oh, maybe it's in those shorts, in those like colored
like
shorts.
Video?
No. Okay, no, there it is. If you can blow that up. So Brooke Entz is like, hey, people think I do steroids. Look at my mom. And you look at her. Okay, so look at her butt muscle right there, and look at her glutes, her hamstring, and her quad.
That's so
Now,
impressive.
that's why she's accused of being on steroids. She's not fucking anorexic, and she has crazy muscle development. You know me, I'm so don't believe in that the steroids are a problem in the sport, but I think that's all genetics. Just like when Brooke Entz showed us her mom, and her mom flexed in the kitchen, her mom has fucking cannons and shoulders and the whole shit, and her mom's like an older lady. So, and she doesn't do CrossFit, I don't think, like Brooke does. And so this girl here, Vicky, she says that she's been accused since she's been a little kid, 10 years old, because her legs were more defined than most bodybuilders. And it's like, yeah, maybe who the fuck am I to think that everyone's going to be a blob like me? have a fucking 42-inch waist with a fucking 28-inch inseam. Not everyone's built like that. Shut up, Hobart. Just because you have a great body. Canceled. Okay, so what do you guys think? I mean, it sucks that she even has to answer to that, but I'm glad that Dave posted it, so I got to stare at a hot chick and an awesome body.
I kind of love the picture. Yeah, I don't think she could have put it with a better picture.
Yep. Hobart, clean or dirty? She juiced?
No, I don't think she is. I just think people have such a hard time accepting that there are some people that they will never be as excellent as, no matter what they do. I just think that's really hard for people. But I also...
Like Kyle Kasperbauer?
Oh, brutal. Thing to say. Brian, I'm here giving you sympathy, and you know what? I'm going to get on your Instagram and I'm going to wreck you. No, but I also
Brian,
think it's...
what do you guys think, though? Let's talk about the bigger subject. Do you think it's cool that, like, should we just, like, stop accusing people until they're caught? Like, is it just, like, should we just stop doing that? Like, why even accuse anyone until they're caught, right? Or no? Anyone?
I certainly don't do that.
You don't accuse anyone. I know.
No, so if some people want to do that, what am I going to do about it?
I also think that...
I never brought up... Go ahead, James.
No, I just also think the whiners are good because it allows the Vicky Carusos of the world to just be excellent and great. You know, it's like if there's this huge cohort of people out there who think that anything you do is explained by you cheating or doing something underhanded, it's like, good. I hope those people are out there because that's a whole subset of people I never have to worry about competing against me. Because it's like I know just by virtue of like trying harder, standing up, taking the hit, putting in a little bit extra, you'll outperform them without really doing much else because they're so caught up in this idea of that you can't do anything good without receiving something from somebody else. It's just like they're just doomed for failure. In some ways, I'm glad they're there because it'll make everything easier for people who like to work hard.
The call-in numbers at the top, I agree, Hobart. But I think it'd be even fun to get some people juiced up in there, like openly juiced up, and then just beat them.
Here we go.
Mars Logan.
I can't believe you said that, Brian.
Marsden, how are you? You with Heber tonight?
Yeah, man.
Perfect. That was a perfect imitation. How are you, brother? How's Iowa?
Great. I'm just eating pancakes and, talking about buttery stuff.
Good.
I want to weigh in on the steroid thing.
Okay.
I really feel like it's a lot like, if somebody's got a nice car or they're well off in life, it's daddy's money. There's always just excuses that somebody's kicking ass. And everybody's always got a reason they're not because everybody else is cheating one way or another.
I think that's a perfect example. I think that is a perfect example. And you know what? Who cares if if your parents did give you money? It's kind of like too, like who cares?
Well, as long as you don't lose it.
Well, that's true.
I mean, if your parents give you money and then you're well off, it's like, well, hey, at least you didn't lose it all. I mean, it'd be nice if you could turn it into like 10x or 20x. That's cool too. But
people are complaining about Hobart's audio. God damn it!
I didn't even know Hobart was on because I opened up the app and all I saw was I saw Brian Friend. I thought he was fired, but I'm very happy to see him. Hello, Brian.
Hey, anytime you don't see Brian on the show, I want to make it very clear it's Brian's fault. 100%. I burned Brian out, and I'm about to burn Kate and James out. You watch. Fuckers can't hang.
I also wanted to bring up the passing of Norm Mcdonald, even though it's been a while. I just don't know if you guys had any thoughts because I just love Norm.
Go ahead, say something. I don't really know Norm, but I know he died.
You don't know Norm?
No. Is he woke?
No, he's not woke. He's
good.
The opposite of woke.
Okay.
He's asleep. Is that what you call it?
Oh.
That's pretty good.
Oh. Wow, we don't normally get callers who are funny.
But no, I mean, I always watch Norm interviews. I listen to Norm's stand-up. I'm not going to recite it. Reciting stand-up from somebody else is atrocious. But I don't know. I thought you'd have something to say on it, Sevan, being that you have comedian in the bio. But
I'm embarrassed to say that, like, I was never a huge Norm Macdonald fan. I just know his work from here and there. I do know tomorrow I have Bill Dawes on the show at 7 a.m. You do not want to miss that. He is funny as shit. You should watch his 2020 performance in Las Vegas at the Laugh Comedy Club. I will, Mars, watch Norm Macdonald tonight before I go to bed, because I'm sure Bill's going to bring it up too, and I don't want to be an idiot 2 shows in a row. So thank you for calling me out on that. What do you think? What do you think about Ricky Garrard, Mars? Do you think it's all just water under the bridge? Did you watch his interview with Chase? By the way,
I didn't watch his interview with Chase because I was waiting for you to do an interview with him.
You should watch it. It's really uncomfortable the first 15 or 20 minutes, and then I kind of gave my feelings about the interview, and then I circled back later on in the day and I scrubbed forward 30 minutes and watched another 15 minutes. And Chase really did do a good job. It's not easy. I mean, it's not how I would have done it, but I don't know if I'll do it as good. I'd love to have him on. He's not easy to interview, and Chase kept the ball rolling. So you should listen to it. You should listen to it.
But at what point is it worth doing, some kind of performance enhancing drug so that you get you expand that foundation? And then, because not everything goes away. I'm not saying he was taking testosterone. I think it was he taking something for his endurance.
It was something called 140, whatever it was. When in the first 5 minutes in the show they say it, and then I actually, while I was listening to the show, went online and looked to buy it, and I put both bottles of the shit in a shopping cart, and I was going to order it, and then I saw to the right it said it enlarges your prostate. This is a true story, and I was like, oh shit, I'm 49, I can't fuck with my prostate. I just want to get buff. And so I just closed the window and didn't order the shit. But it's just shit you can order online. It's like, that's another thing that's pretty funny. I bet you that, even though it's like this damning interview of Ricky, don't do steroids, it's bad, I bet you that interview probably sold fucking 1,000 bottles of that shit. Because who the fuck doesn't want to look like Ricky Garrard?
I'm still waiting for the Sevan testosterone bottles to come out so I can start poking myself in the butt with Sevan testosterone.
I wish. Rad. So Paul K said it's Rad 140. Get your Rad 140 now. But dude, read the side effects. It's not worth it. Especially someone like me who's got an amazing life. I can't shorten this fucker.
Sevan, you're not gonna do TRT?
What's that?
Testosterone replacement therapy when you get older?
No, I'm already older.
Like
No. Oh, no. Rogan is so red. Doesn't it make you nervous when you watch the show a little bit? Like something could happen to him? He's so red.
Yeah, that guy is like straight from the pumpkin patch, man.
Him and Dana White, I love both of them, and I really don't want anything to happen to him, but they're so red. And fucking same with Daniel Cormier. He's not red, but fuck, he's as big as 3 houses. I get worried about those guys. I mean, fucking, I can't believe COVID hasn't wiped Daniel out. Yeah.
Well, I got nothing else. I just wanted to bring up Norm, and I was hoping it would trigger a Sevan Norm talk, but I might send you one of Norm's serious podcast where he gets very philosophical. You might enjoy it.
Okay. Go back to looking at pictures of Vicky Caruso. Bye, Mars.
All right, bye-bye.
Bam. Hobart, maybe you should just turn off your video so your audio is good.
I did turn off my video.
Oh, shit. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Did you listen to the Ricky? Brian, did you listen to the Ricky interview? Hobart, can I ask? I'm going to push Brian on this a little bit. Will that throw you off, or?
No, hit it, man. I like this. I like this open form. I got plenty of stuff. We can hit it, not hit it. But Brian's here, so let's take advantage of him.
That's what Greg said to Kate last night. I was a little slow on the trigger. Is that his name,
yeah,
Greg?
I feel like that could be confusing as well.
Yeah, it was just I just think he's a good dude. We could hit it, we could not hit it. I just like this whole open forum thing. Whatever you want.
Go wild.
Go wild. Brian, so what did you didn't? Why wouldn't you? Oh, Nelly. I kind of have to take this. It's from Canada. They probably haven't talked to another human being in a month.
Oh, come on.
Let's go. Canada.
Hey, Sevan.
Yes.
This is Peter from Canada.
Hi, Peter from Canada.
Can you hear me?
Better than we can hear Hobart. And he's not even in jail.
I could hear Hobart after he turned his video off. I could hear him.
Okay, cool.
I just wanted to. I messaged you on Instagram. I just wanted to talk. I just did my L1 on the weekend, and I'm still pumped from doing it.
How the hell did you do your L1 in Canada? They're doing L1s in Canada?
Yeah. I was supposed to take it in June, but it got canceled because everything got shut down. But it just started back up, so I was able to do it last weekend.
Brian's about to get canceled. Oh, shit. Brian just jumped off the show. He's gone. You did it in person? You didn't do the online one?
No, I did it in person. I didn't want to do the online one.
Oh, good on you. Good on you. Yeah, that's the way to do
awesome.
it. Don't do the online one. That's just I can't imagine that being any good. Maybe it is. I can't imagine.
Yeah, maybe it's good, but it was way better being in person and being with the people and just doing it all. It was awesome, man.
Let's play a game with Kate and James. Let's see how smart they are, because there's only like 170 of these L1 trainers in the world, and so they should be able to tell you who your trainers were. It's okay if they get something. We'll give them between the two of them. They can get 3 wrong. They can get 3 wrong. How many trainers were there?
There was 4 people.
Okay, we'll give them 4 wrong, so they get 2 guesses basically for each one. So because it's a narrow crew in Canada. Okay, go ahead, Kate. You go first.
No, Hobart will have a way better chance than me.
You guys got to take turns. Go first, Kate. Who did he have if he was in Canada?
I can't think of who I know is in Canada. It's confusing. And the Americans and Canadians sound the same. It's hard.
Racist. Hobart, help a girl out.
Jason Mcdonald.
No, it wasn't Jason.
1 wrong.
He was from he was from Montreal, if that helps.
Matt Dubrec.
Yeah, that's right.
And the other 3 were all Canadians. Did you Americans can't go to your country, right?
Americans can come here, but we're not allowed to cross the border into America. So we can't drive across. We can fly across. So you can ship your car to Buffalo and then pick it up if you fly across. But we can't drive across.
And where did you? Who's okay? Just tell us. This game's stupid. Tell us who your trainers were.
Val Bouillet, that she's French as well.
I know Val. Yes.
Matt. Okay. Below, sorry. Rez, he owns the CrossFit NCR in Ottawa with Paul Tremblay. And Jocelyn, she's from Toronto.
How come I don't recognize any of those names? Do I know any of those people, Hobart? How about Val? That sounds familiar.
She's new.
I don't know if you know any of these people.
She's new.
Why was she nude?
New. She was new.
Oh. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad you liked it. So you don't have any complaints. You're stoked.
Yeah, I know. I'm stoked. This is part of a bigger plan for me. I quit my job back in February, and
Nice.
I've gone back to university for addiction counseling, and I want to do CrossFit and addiction, try and work with people who are alcoholics and addicts, and try and bring CrossFit to them.
You should do sugar addicts, since those fuckers are bringing down the entire planet. I say that in all honesty.
Yeah, no, I've just for me, CrossFit saved my life when I was an alcoholic, and I started to do CrossFit, and then I realized doing CrossFit that I was an alcoholic, and I had to clean my life up.
That's so awesome.
If I hadn't found CrossFit, I don't think I'd be alive today. So I want to try and give something back, right?
Yeah, give me some details on that. What do you mean you didn't realize you were an alcoholic until you started doing CrossFit?
Well, I knew I was a heavy drinker, but then once I started doing CrossFit and trying to keep up with it, and then just having to look at my life and my lifestyle, and then I tried to quit drinking and I couldn't, and it was okay. So it set me on a different journey than I probably would if I hadn't found CrossFit.
What kind of drunk were you? Were you violent, funny, loving? Pass out?
No, I was just just constantly drinking.
How many drinks would you have in a week?
I might in a week.
In a day.
In a day. So, like, it was all very civilized. Like, and I would have some beers with dinner and then a bottle of wine afterwards, and then, like, scotch or vodka after while I was reading. It all seemed like very... But when I finally got into recovery and started, like, actually realizing how much I drank, it was probably, like, on a Monday night, probably, like, 20 drinks.
Fuck.
So
added
20
everything
times
up.
7 is 140. I'm just giving Kate the information she wants. She thinks in weeks and fortnights.
Yeah. I was spending about $2,000 a month on alcohol.
Shit. Yeah.
So.
How much
Yeah.
have you heard? How much have you heard about the Phoenix program that started in Colorado, but now is location?
Yeah, I had seen that during, I think they were talking about it during the games. So I saw about that, and then I was talking to Rez on the weekend, and so I'm going to try and get in contact with them down there. Like, I'm in the beginning of my journey now. Like, I'd hoped to have my L1 done earlier, but with COVID and all that.
Yeah. Hey,
So
man.
now it's,
Send me a DM. My Instagram is just at James Hobart. I know a handful of people there in Boston who work at the Phoenix location there, so I'll try and make a connection too. So shoot me a note.
Don't you want to know if you got sober first? Are you sober yet?
yeah, 7 years sober.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Don't be
Nice.
making the connection with anyone who's going to infiltrate them and be wasted. Wow, that's incredible.
I don't think he'd be
7
on
years
here
sober.
admitting that unless he was going through that process of sobriety. So,
Where's the Phoenix program now, James? Were you alluding to the fact that it moved?
no, they have locations all over the U.S. now, but they have a location in Boston. We're actually working a level 1 there at the end of October.
Greg got some like lifetime achievement award from them, and I went to the dinner. I think I was pretty fucked up at the dinner. I think I got drunk before. But they're good people.
so
They're
good.
awesome people, and their gym's awesome. Hey, that's great. That's great. So CrossFit not only saved your life, now you've taken the L1 and you want to save other people's lives. You could have done it without the L1, but now that you've done the L1, you're supercharged.
Yeah, I mean, I just, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like when you're laying on your back after doing Fran or something like that, like, you can't be thinking about your problems and a lot of people who, like, get into recovery don't have a life. They just stop drinking. CrossFit and the community gave me a life too, right? So I kind of want to help. I want to kind of bring that to people as well.
I never thought about that before. What do you mean stop drinking and don't have a life? You mean like they just stop drinking and then just start going to bed early, or?
Yeah, and just like if they belong to a 12-step program, they just go to meetings all the time and basically hanging on by just not drinking. And it's really hard to be in this world and not be around alcohol, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard not to. I mean, people just have trouble building a life where it doesn't involve alcohol anymore.
How old are you?
Huh?
How old are you?
55.
Okay.
55.
So I just put a post
Go ahead,
up
Kate,
on
sorry.
Instagram this morning, and it was like, alcohol is the only drug that you have to justify not taking. And the comments have blown up. Like, everybody is responding, just being like, it's so hard to not drink. And then other people being like, man, I'm so glad that I don't drink anymore. It's like the response has been so interesting to read. But, yeah, alcohol's scary.
Hey, Matt, can you put that post up? That's an incredible post. Is that your insight? That's awesome, Kate.
So I've been listening to, there's a guy called Dr. Saul Newman in Australia who has basically become like this whistleblower for the alcohol industry and the government. And he basically said, like, government money is going into supporting the alcohol industry in Australia, which, surprise, surprise, right? But he was on an interview with a couple of Aussie girls, and it was just like so great, so great. And I remember actually listening to that podcast and being at a level 1. So the level 1s, we have a social on the Saturday night and we give out beer. And we were at a level 1 that was hosted by an affiliate, and the owner was a cop. And he refused to deliver beer to the affiliates or to the level 1 because he's like, we don't have alcohol in this gym. And it was kind of awesome. Like, I just thought it was such a cool move. He's like, the shit that I've seen because of alcohol, like, we don't provide alcohol in this facility.
Yep, I agree. Hey, let's look at that. What you wrote there too. Alcohol is the only drug you have to justify not taking. That's because, and I think Peter, is that your name, Peter?
Yep.
I think that's what what you're alluding to. Drinking is so contagious. All our behaviors are so contagious. You can't just say no, thank you. You have to put up a shield of words. Oh, I have a test tomorrow, and I'm trying to lose weight. I'm doing this 30-30 program where I don't drink for 30 days. I mean, it's just, you got to have some sort of excuse as opposed to just like, hey, I don't drink.
Yeah, there's like this. It's like a stigma around not drinking.
Like it's extreme if you don't drink.
Yeah. It's like you're being way too healthy or it's insane.
What is wrong with you? Yeah, it's just. Yeah, that's an awesome post. I hadn't seen that. I haven't been on an Instagram all day, but that's really good.
So there's this really cool thing where,
too,
so I'd be interested to know, Sevan, this is for you. What they've got is they've got this way to convert the risk of death due to alcohol to what the similar equivalent would be with cigarettes. So it's like they say one bottle of wine is 10 cigarettes for women, or one bottle of wine is 5 cigarettes for men. And that helps you get across the idea of everybody knows cigarettes will cause fucking lung cancer or death or whatever. But I'd be super interested to know if they could convert that risk into sugar. Like, okay, how many cans of Coke would a bottle of wine be, or in terms of the risk of death or the risk of chronic disease? Because I'm sure that there would be some kind of correlate or some way to have a comparison, I guess, between the three.
Oh, Corey, no wonder you're on my jock so hard. You've been sober for 6 months after you started listening to the Sevan Matt and Josh podcast. Yeah, you're fucking addicted. You're like someone who did ecstasy at the Grateful Dead, and now you think the Grateful Dead's a good band because you were fucking high on Molly there. You fucking had your life turned around listening to our show, and you think we're cool. Yeah, you got fucked. But congratulations anyway, Corey. The conflation there, too, of people being addicted to alcohol and being addicted to sugar is fascinating, because I thought I was addicted to alcohol, but I was addicted to sugar. And that's one that people really like. Like, all I have to do if I want to drink alcohol is just eat a little piece of fruit, and it goes away. And that's a really, really powerful tool to have, by the way, for people who you don't want to drink. Go have a piece of fruit. Frozen berries with heavy cream on it. It'll freeze on the top like a magic shell, and you're good to go. I do think that if you smoked, I think that alcohol, as long as you have the rest of your life in check, you can turn around pretty easily. I don't think it's like that for sugar addicts and cigarette smokers. By that I mean, I suspect there are people who get so obese so quickly, and there's so many of them now, that what they do is they bend the frame of their car. They total their rig. They total their rig. Do you know what I mean by that? That means you bent the frame of your car, and it can't. A pound? John just donated a pound to the show. Thank you. That means that you damaged your car so bad that you can't probably resell it. And that's what's fucking scary about the lie that's going on. There's people around this that it doesn't matter if they start up CrossFit tomorrow. They've done permanent damage to their fucking bodies. It's fucking scary. You see it I used to never see people who did permanent damage to their bodies. Now I can't leave the house without seeing someone who did permanent damage to their body. What's that mean? That means no matter how fit or in shape they get, they're always going to have stretch marks and tons of skin hanging off them, and they fuck their body up. And you can only imagine what it looks like on the inside, the organs and shit. Now, does that mean you shouldn't try? No, you should fucking try. But I think as long as you quit drinking alcohol, But cigarette smoking, I smoked for 10 years. I think I fucked myself. But I'm Armenian and short, so I'm kind of like a weed.
What does that even mean?
You know what that means.
I do.
Don't hate just because I'm genetically inferior, which makes me genetically superior. There's perfect balance in the universe. I'm ugly and weak, but I live a long time. I like one of those vines that just you just keep pulling it out of your yard and it just keeps shooting up somewhere. Peter, is there anything else like to say? Congratulations, you now own the you've taken the course, the greatest 2-day course that I've ever heard of in the history of mankind that lets people know how to run the human body. Congratulations, and I hope you spread it. And I'm really happy for you. I mean it. I'm happy for everyone who's taken the course.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And yeah, James, I'll shoot you a DM. That would be great if I could get any information from you.
Yeah, please do, and I will. And congratulations, man, on your 7 years.
Hobart's the kind of guy that goes out with a girl and 5 dates in, he hasn't kissed her. He starts like, he's in his mind, he's like, this is never going to work out, and he breaks up with her, even though she's hot as shit and nice and perfect, but he doesn't.
That was so random.
I know. But he's asking this guy to DM him, and James isn't going to respond. He's not going to respond to his DM. Good night, Peter.
I will kiss him in his first 5 dates.
All right, good luck. Make the first move, or else you ain't going to get shit from Hobart. Am I right, Hobart, before you got married?
No, my wife actually proposed to me, so.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're...
No, she
someone
didn't.
don't-
No, she didn't. No, she didn't. She didn't.
Ah,
But
damn it. I was so excited.
And she keeps his balls in a jar in the kitchen.
now she carries them in her pocket, man. All right, we ready to do some?
Honey,
Just getting. Here we
you
go.
call your wife from 3,000 miles away. Honey, did you leave your purse in the sun again? I'm getting really hot. She's like, oh, sorry. I'm at the beach. I shouldn't have brought your balls with me to the beach. Sorry, James. Okay, go on, Hobart.
Maybe he's into it,
what-
Sevan. Maybe
Yeah,
he's into it.
Yeah, Kate. Matt told me that I'm supposed to like engage you and James more. I'm not going to engage James more, but I think that's basically what he's saying is you should interrupt and talk more. And he was going to put it on me, but I'll never be able to do that. So you should interrupt and talk more.
Okay, I'll just interrupt. That's cool.
Okay.
I'm going to take that and run with it.
Bam.
Weren't you going to do like a
Hold
what grinds my gears segment today?
Well, funnily enough, it was actually alcohol that grinds my gears. And so that was what prompted the post. And that's been like the thing that was kind of handy from our friend who just called in, because I was like, the alcohol thing pisses me off. And so the whole thing with Australia being in lockdown, or at least Melbourne, like we've been in lockdown 248 days or something today.
Not counting.
It's like ridiculous. It's
And
ridiculous.
I actually have a news story on that.
Oh,
Hey, that's an
dear.
amazing post you made. It's a
Yeah,
fucking
so
public
but
service
here,
that
okay,
you did that.
so I actually
It's
have
beautiful.
a question for you. I have a thing, something to put to you guys. So the post mentioned that I'm like pissed off about the alcohol and bottle-os, which is what they call them in Australia, remaining open during our lockdown. So everything is shut except for supermarkets, like pharmacies, and gas stations and bottle-os. Pretty much are the stores that you can access. So I'm like, well, this is kind of fucked. Like, show me the science that says that bottle-os should stay open and gyms and churches should be closed, right? And so the pushback that I've had is people saying, well, if people that are alcoholics go cold turkey and can't drink,
Oh,
that
fuck.
would risk their death. But
Oh,
what's
Oh,
interesting about
Jesus.
that is, one, you would still have access to alcohol even if bottlers were shut, because you could still have click and collect services. You would still be able to get alcohol delivered to your door. Like, it's not that alcohol disappears off the planet or out of Australia. It's still fucking there. And then the other thing that I wonder about is what number of people are alcoholics to the degree that they would suffer death from the withdrawal symptoms.
Hey,
Like,
that's
is
idiots.
that
That's
a-
like people talking about food droughts as being the problem in the United States. They're fucking idiots. They're victim mindset, and they want to argue people's limitations. That's fucking idiocy.
Well, it's
Why not
almost
just
like-
limit the amount of alcohol? Why not? limit
Yeah,
it?
right? Like, there should be... I just feel like there's some kind of argument that has come out of somewhere, and I don't fucking know where, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's not come from the alcohol industry, with lobbyists saying, like, look, you can't just stop drinking. You just can't do that because of the risk of death, because you're going to have these withdrawal symptoms. And I'm like, well, I went and tried to Google it. I was like, who's fucking died from withdrawal symptoms? And I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, and I'm not an expert at all. I'm not claiming to, like, know all the fucking details of death from withdrawal or addiction or all those things, but... like, I would just be curious to know, like, how many people are actually going to die? What number of is that, and what's the percentage? Because I feel like this is this story or this narrative that's been kind of given to us. Or at least I wouldn't be surprised if it has.
Listen, you may have heard that quitting drinking abruptly is potentially deadly.
Although death from alcohol withdrawal is uncommon. Okay.
Dude, it's got to be so low. I mean, they just have to say that. That's fucking horseshit. I have a family friend, and the mom claims that she feeds her kids sugar daily, like Oreos and shit, because she told me she doesn't want them to have an adverse reaction if they get it somewhere outside of the house. She wants to like normalize it for them. I'm like, what the fuck kind of thinking is this?
Yeah, people argue for it, right? They'll find ways to like be like, no, I have to do this. It's science.
I'm going to leave my kids with Uncle Buck for an hour so when they go out in the real world they can know what pieces of shit men really are. No, I'm going to try to protect them from that shit as long as I can. Like, what the fuck? Hey, I want to see it. I want to see someone die from going through alcohol withdrawals. I want to see how fucked up they are already.
I mean, they claim that that's how the Amy Winehouse's family say that that's how she died. So I think it apparently does happen. She was on a lot of other fucking drugs as well. So, I mean, maybe there's some problems, but I'm sure it does happen. I just don't know if that's an argument for being like, oh, you can't shut down bottle shops. Because it's not the small percentage of people that are going to die from withdrawal symptoms. It's the rest of the population that are fucking drinking alcohol, sitting at home being sedentary because we've been locked down for almost a fucking year, not being able to go to gyms, eating and like ordering takeouts because you can't fucking do anything else with your time. Like, even I have felt the effects of being at home more often and not training as often because the gyms are closed. And it's like, I'm already fit, and thank God I am, because it's given me this buffer against going backwards, right? Going towards sickness,
the hedge.
which is exactly what we talk about in the level 1. It's the hedge. It's the buffer against sickness, and thank God I have it, because everyone else who is just average, like everyone else who's sitting at wellness, is really quickly moving towards sickness right now. And it's like, it's fucked. We've created that problem.
I watched this fucking thing. I stopped watching it right away. It's like, it's one of those Jon Stewart, Colbert, fucking idiot sideshow. Or what's the black guy's name who took over for Jon Stewart? Trevor Noah. I think it was like some show, some piece. That guy's such a fucking idiot. That guy is a fucking moron. He's toxic to society. All he does is fucking make fun of people who have really, really strong points. But he basically has this guy go and do like reporting for him, and he shows up to this rally, and it's parents who are against masking their kids, and he's basically making fun of them the whole time. And he basically says it's incredible that these parents are against masks when kids are dying at 4 times the rate now of COVID than they were a year ago. Now, it's so fucking manipulative. First of all, if one kid died and it's now 4 times the rate, it's now 4 kids. And you forgot to mention that kids, according to the New York Times, have doubled the instances of diabetes in kids in the last year, which guess what that means, guys? That means it's 4 times. And of course 4 times as many are dying. But the masks aren't going to protect them. It's the protocol to stop this thing that's killing them. Because they're fucking trapped inside. We have more obese kids than ever. 40% of America has gained more than 30 pounds during this. Think about that. You don't recover from that, by the way. That was what I was kind of saying before. Like smoking, drinking, eating too much sugar. The real problem is once you start really putting on weight, like you start doing permanent damage to your rig. Okay, sorry. I agree. It's devastating, Kate. It's devastating. And who cares? If you're so far fucking gone, like, there's 7 billion people on the planet. If 100,000 of them died from alcohol withdrawal, sorry. Like my kid has to go out and play. Sorry.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think, and even like the argument of like, hey, if they've shut the bottle-os, the visits to the ED, like
erectile dysfunction.
Emergency department, ER. What you guys?
Yes.
I think it's ER.
Yeah.
What you guys call? Yeah. So ED, emergency department. So people are saying, hey, yeah, the visits would increase, and that would potentially use up beds that we need for people that have got COVID. But unfortunately, that the number of ED or ER visits due to alcohol and alcohol abuse is fucked.
Oh, they're
Like,
all
it's
the frequent
crazy
flyers
high.
in the
I
United
don't
States.
think that-
Our ERs are filled with those guys at nighttime. Filled.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know if people are aware of the number of visits to, and like even the cost of on us, the taxpayers, and you know, the people that are actually fucking helping these poor sick people that are drinking too much alcohol. It's like, I don't know if removing the alcohol is going to potentially increase it. Like, at least not ultimately. It would hopefully be a net drop of visits to the ED, because there's already so many alcohol like caused visits to the ED.
If you're willing to quarantine someone like...
I don't know. It was just an argument that I was like...
If you're willing to quarantine someone like... if you're willing to quarantine anyone in the CrossFit community, then I'm saying that you should also be able to quarantine anyone who's on the exact opposite end of the spectrum. Oh, sorry, this is the third time you've been in the hospital this week for drinking. We're going to quarantine you for a year with no drinking because you're harming actually society. I mean, there has to become like, I don't even want to go down that route. Never mind. Sorry. I don't even want to go down that route. It kind of lowers me to their level. Like, I don't want to quarantine anyone. I don't want to quarantine anyone. Hobart.
Well, I had this story
See
about...
if you can get your story across without someone complaining about your audio.
No. Well, we've had some really nice conversations, and my first story was this really goofy story, and I think I'm just going to skip it, and we're going to go to the Australia tourists.
There's Australian
Okay,
tourists?
Well, there's not going to be until 2022. From what I understand...
They just announced that they're gonna have international flights out of Australia again. Apparently,
But
end of this year.
it seems foreign tourists won't be
fuck,
welcomed back
who
to
knows?
Australia until at least next year. The country will instead prioritize the return of skilled migrants and students after that time hits. A benchmark of full vaccination of 80% of the population aged 16 and older. Travel restrictions in Australia have led to the lowest level of immigration since World War II. And just for note, the Australian Tourism Export Council, which represents a sector that made 45 billion Australian dollars, 33 billion, a year from international tourists before the pandemic, wants international visitors to return by March.
I heard half of Australia is just wide open. I heard there's two Australias. I heard there's one that's crazy locked down and there's one that's like never been more open. Is that true?
So Melbourne and Sydney, which is Victoria and New South Wales, were pretty locked down. I think even Canberra is pretty locked down. So it just depends
Do you
on
have
the
a
state
Perth?
that you're in. If
Do you have a
you're
Perth?
over
What's
on
going
the-
on in
South
Perth?
Africa.
Yeah, Perth. So Perth is open. So if you're in WA, which is Western Australia, they're open, but you cannot fucking get into Perth. They won't let anyone in. They like shut off their border and they were like, fuck everyone on the East Coast. So like it basically is treated like a different country. So yeah, they're open. They're living it up.
Can you fly in and
over
out of Perth from like the U.S.?
No. So
Did you just
international
listen to the
borders.
article I read?
But there were.
What
I know,
the
but
fuck?
I know, but
This is foreign
I know, but
tourists
I
won't
had
be
to
welcome
check.
back
I
to
had to
Australia.
confirm.
Okay, Jesus. Did you black out?
Hey, Hobart, what percentage?
There were protests in the U.S. There were protests in the U.S. about opening up Australia. I don't know if you guys saw videos of that. It was like a video from New York, like people protesting that Australia was closed. I don't know if they're Australians or not, but there's been protests in the UK as well, like the Australians that are stuck overseas being like, well, this is fucked. My passport can get me everywhere except for fucking
Watching
home.
what's happening in Canada, California, and Australia is a little bit terrifying. Those three places, some of the shit that's being said in these places is fucking nuts. From our leaders, it's so bizarre. I can't even believe this is real life. Yeah, Hawaii, like they're proposing that you
Yeah,
can't fly
it's crazy.
domestically in the United States without getting drugs injected into you.
Yeah, Air New Zealand just came out saying that every person flying and every member of staff has to be vaccinated. But Virgin Australia just came out saying that their staff will be, but they're not going to require the people flying on the plane to
Which
be.
is the Australian airline where they give you ice cream when you fly across the country? Is that Qantas?
Probably Qantas.
Yeah, that was the
Qantas,
shit.
Yeah.
They give you free ice cream, Siobhan, as
They
you
give you
fly
Tim
across.
Tams as well, I'm pretty
Tim
sure.
Tam, fuck yeah.
Sivan will love that.
I would hand mine to Hobart. Hey, if people want to see some crazy shit, if you want to stay on top of what's going on here, make sure you follow what's going on in Japan and Israel. If you really want to know some of the crazy shit, like follow what's going on in Japan and Israel. There's tremendous insights coming out of there. The studies coming out of Israel are fucking. I don't know how anyone gets the injection if you're watching what's going on in Israel. It is
I think even Singapore is quite interesting to watch as well at the moment. They're kind of similar.
yeah. And they're what's this is from Beaverton, Oregon. God, this is another scary place. Probably fucking Nike headquarters calling me.
if you're
You're
watching with
what did they say? They said something and hung up?
We have to get somebody to start screening calls, man.
I
getting-
want someone to say
No,
something.
I
I want
don't.
someone to call and be like, God, I'd like to bend James Hobart over and stick it in his... Okay, give it another try. Say, is this a crank call? Go ahead.
What's up, Sevan?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey,
Are you
Tam
calling
Tam.
for... Is this the CEO of Nike?
This is not the CEO of Nike, sadly, no.
Oh.
Although it is right down the street from me. I can see it from my window.
You live in a town that's called Beaverton. How, like, that would never get old for me.
Beavertron is what the locals call it.
It's just Beaverton. It's just it should be where God's born. That should have been home of Jesus, Beaverton.
But they mentioned Tim Tams earlier. I worked in the coffee industry for a long time, and something we would do is a Tim Tam Slam. So you know about this, Katie?
The Tim Tam Slam is very
Oh, yeah.
popular in San Francisco on Polk Street also. But go on.
You bite the opposite corners, like, because it's a rectangular cookie and it's like chocolate covered wafer. You bite the opposite corners off of it, and then you use it like a straw. You use the wafer part like a straw, and the chocolate kind of holds the pressure, and you can suck the coffee up into the Tim Tam, and then you quickly throw it down. Sugary, crazy deliciousness is my youth. I miss it, but at the same time, I don't. Good stuff.
What are you doing?
It's like sugar and sugar and sugar.
What do you do in
Sugar,
Beaver?
sugar
What do you
on
do in
tape.
Beaverton?
On bean juice. What do I do?
Yeah, what's your?
I own a tree service company.
Oh.
I follow CrossFit. I'm a fan of CrossFit, but I'm actually more of a ultra runner, trail runner guy. So I live right up in Forest Park.
Do you ever show up and they're like, "Hey, will you cut that tree down?" And like it hurts your heart. You're like, "Oh fuck, I'm gonna go to hell for cutting this one down."
Yeah. So the way this works, my brother's actually the one who cuts them down. I'm the one who does all the estimates. So I'm the one who goes and actually decides if we're going to do it or not, or how much it's going to cost. So yeah, sometimes I'm like, you don't want to cut this down. You want to trim it.
Oh, you do say that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a good dude.
But the thing, trees grow out of spaces, and that's the thing. Like a wild forest is for crazy big trees. Neighborhood is not.
And Oregon's full of neighborhoods full of just the craziest, biggest trees, like trees that take up people's whole front yard, like the trunk's crazy.
Dude, you want a good example of crazy government bureaucracy? It's tree cutting permits. So Hillsboro, which is right next to Beaverton, they have 0 permits, and therefore they have very few trees, very few tree problems. You get into Lake Oswego, which is probably 20 minutes away. They have it's one of the most heavily permitted tree areas in the United States. You have to it's like $5,000 to cut down a tree.
Oh,
And
God
and there's-
damn.
And there's trees everywhere. So, and they're falling through people's houses. We had some crazy storms last year. They're falling through people's houses. It's nuts.
You know what's crazy too is it's not. You can trust the people. People don't want to cut down every single fucking tree. You can trust the people. You really can't trust the people.
Yeah, I feel like some places there's mediums. Those are the extremes. I feel like there's some places that have some good kind of in between where it's like, hey, don't cut everything down all the time. Let's keep some trees around. Let's be reasonable. I'm kind of a moderate.
Do you have people call up and they're like, hey, I need you to cut down my neighbor's tree, or I need you to cut down that tree across the road so that my view is better? Like, I feel like there'd be like a little black market for like cutting trees down to be like, I want to improve my view. Fucking cut that shit down over the road.
About twice
like in
a week.
Australia?
Wow.
Yeah, okay, because in Australia, there's like houses that are across the road from the beach, like literally down the road from me, and there's all these trees and bush that are like over the kind of like covering the view, and I'm like, man, if they just cut that one tree down, that view would be amazing. And then like a few weeks later, the tree's like dying, and you're like, man, has that tree been poisoned or something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's in front of all the
that's
really rich
easy.
houses too.
I've never heard of sneak attack poisoning before, but dude, if anybody listening, that's the way to do it.
I heard you can bore out a hole in a tree, get a big drill bit, and then just pour in just like some sort of like weed killer, and it'll just fucking smoke a tree.
Dude, trees are actually surprisingly easy to kill.
It's kind of hurting my feelings.
Dude, some tree companies, they'll actually, like, you call them to trim your tree, keep it alive, keep it healthy, and they'll wear spikes up it intentionally, knowing that it'll cause the tree to be more unhealthy. So they've got to come back and either remove it or trim it again.
Oh.
Yeah, and
that's sad.
Yeah, it happens. Corruption is everywhere.
Hey, Kate, James, Paul in the comments said ultra running. Oof. Like, when you guys hear that this guy from Beaverton's an ultra runner, do you just think mental illness?
No, I think it's cool.
You don't think like he used to do meth and now he has to run 100 miles a day to fucking so he doesn't go back to it?
Well, he might, but
I think ultra runners are like the ultimate meditators, right? Like, they can just fucking do stuff for a really long time.
I'd say that. I'd say that, like, because a lot of my friends are ultra runners too. Like, it's my social time. Like, we get out, we go. I mean, it's real low heart rate. You're going real easy. It's warm up speed. For CrossFitters, it's like an hour-long warm-up, but you're talking the whole time and you're running through the forest. Like, it's great.
That's cool.
All right, I'll give you a pass.
That's pretty great, but racing is a different thing. There's a lot of, so I called in because, Sevan, we've talked a little bit in your DM. My question that I wanted to throw to the L1 staff, because I've mentioned this to you before, was the whole definition of broad time and modal domains. My frustration, because as an ultra runner and a fan of CrossFit, like, I'd love to see these guys tackle a trail 50K or like something that's actually from my point of view and from my experiences, actually long.
I feel like they tap. I feel like whenever we hear about a CrossFitter trying the 100 miler, they tap, like at 50 or 70 miles. I think Greg Amundsen tried 100 miles a couple times, and I feel like he tapped. I feel like Brian McKenzie, who is even touting himself as an ultra, like the long distance guy, I feel like he tapped a bunch of times. I want to say that recently I think I read a story where Kelly Starrett tapped. I mean, fuck, dude. Can you imagine? You know what Kelly Starrett looks like? Can you imagine him running 100 miles?
Yeah, dude. You can't, like, I
mean, don't get me wrong. He looks fit as shit, but 100 miles is like straight. Like, I give Kelly, he needs like 2 or 3 days to do it, and me riding a bike next to him, like giving him water and shit.
My first one took me 30 hours.
Dude, I can't stand for 30 hours.
It was a vision quest. I highly recommend it for your mind. If you can do 100 miles after that, any hard day you're having, you're just like, this is nothing compared to what I've done before.
Okay.
If nothing else,
awesome.
It's good for your mind. Yeah,
hey, have you ever had?
Sure.
Do you have any injuries from that have never gone away? Like any permanent injuries?
I'm actually injured right now. So yeah, I've got an irregular bone structure in my right hip, and it makes
me
so
too.
that
Mine's right in between. I have an irregular bone structure. It's right in between my left hip and my right hip.
No,
like
he
right
doesn't.
in the center.
He doesn't have that.
I hear you. Mine's a little different setup than that. But yeah, so my
stick
hip,
out of your belly button.
My hip's a little bit off, and it messes with my sciatic nerve.
So this is serious, Hobart. Peter's. Wait, you're not Peter anymore. This is Beaverton. He's serious. Be cool. He's injured.
This is Sean in Beaverton.
Yes. Damn, my Siri just turned on. Why is that?
I wanna go back to what you mentioned about broad time and modal domains.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Good,
I have
Kate.
something to say. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes what happens is when we talk about CrossFitters versus specialists, what sometimes gets picked up on is that we don't think that what specialists are doing is fucking phenomenal. So it's like ultra runners or your power lifter or your whatever the sport is. I think sometimes you can get the message that it's like, well, CrossFitters are better than everyone. But we only say CrossFitters are fitter based on our definition of fitness. But that's not to say that someone who's doing ultra running or someone who's back squatting like, thousands of pounds is not a phenomenal athlete. It's just that according to our definition, if we were to test that ultra runner with a back squat, the CrossFit is going to beat them at that, right? Like that's just the argument. So based on kind of more objective data, it's like if you look at our definition, the CrossFitter is just going to be the person that is the most well-rounded. Not to say that the person that can go out and run for 30 hours is not putting out a fucking epic like effort. Like I'm like, you know, hats off to you.
One more. I'd like to say one more thing about that though. Just real quick. Not only is it CrossFit's definition, I can't say our like she can because it's not our anymore. But fitness, I want to read something to you. It's the first real definition. So the definition of fitness when you Google it is the state or condition of being fit suitably or appropriateness. The second definition is good health, especially good physical conditioning resulting from exercise and proper nutrition. The third is the extent to which an organism is able to produce offspring in a particular environment. Now, these aren't real.
It's like fitness is being fit.
This is just idiocy. These are all the people on the planet who. This is a definition for sleeping people. This is a definition for people who are trapped in their head. Like if you don't look up a word every single day, you are asleep. If you don't ask someone you're talking to at least once every day, what does that mean? You should be asking that about any word that you have to go in your head and try to understand. Like if someone uses the word God to you and you give a fuck about anything, you would ask them, can you define that, please? And fitness is another one.
Come on. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to interrupt me and say something brilliant like Kate does.
I was giving you the modern amen.
Oh, yeah.
He's
hype. Let's go.
He's your hype beast right now.
I was hyping you.
You ever watch like Japanese people?
It's your hype, man.
You ever watch Japanese people talk like in shows, like they're being interviewed, like the whole time someone else. If I was talking the whole time, Kate and James the whole time be going, oh,
yeah,
and like they do these things like every 20
and nodding.
Yeah, but they make these little sounds, and I'm just thinking to myself, I filmed an arm wrestling tournament in Japan once, and I remember it was a fucking nightmare to do the edits and make the edit smooth because there was always someone fucking up the audio by going, oh, and I was thinking, oh my God, the poor editors in Japan, how do they deal with that? They must have a plug-in for their like Adobe Premiere that just like cuts, it just says like remove Japanese, but it's polite. It's like a polite thing they do, like they're listening. You know what I mean? You have to stay engaged.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, sorry, that was a tangent. Well, thank you very much.
I was
Thanks for giving Kate something to talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
I appreciate that.
Wrap up to say that, as I know my days in ultra running are limited and it shouldn't be done for forever. And as I get out of that, I plan on pulling the hinge off and moving into CrossFit and working on my fitness.
But also, couldn't you scale back your running? Couldn't you go and run like 10 miles a week instead of running like fucking 80? You know, that's like, I don't think it's like I don't think it's either 100 milers or only CrossFit. You know.
Oh, but Hobart, I think that's where the mental illness comes in. Tell me if I'm right, Beaverton. It's like I used to do these workouts where I would ride the assault bike for 10 calories and 10 push-ups and 10 pull-ups, right? And then one day, all of a sudden, I'm like, today I'm gonna take my shirt off. I'm gonna ride 20 calories on the assault bike, and then I can't go back to 10 because if I do, I'm a pussy. So do you feel like if you run 10 miles, you're like, oh God, is that really a workout?
Yeah. There is that. The mental illness is definitely a part of it, but that's part of like, dude.
That's how Kate feels if she only has 3 boyfriends. If she drops below 3, she's like, oh. Only 3.
I know I gotta go, but here's a couple other things that I'd love to hear you guys talk about because I'm doing Sober October. Maybe talk about Sober October. Sevan, I want your T-shirt size so I can send you a Hayworth Tree Service T-shirt.
Large, and I'll wear the shit out of that. Large.
Small, extra small.
Large. I got shoulders. I got broader shoulders than Hobart, I bet.
Open relationship. Love on the Spectrum, the show that's actually an Aussie show about autistic people.
Yeah, people keep telling me to see that.
My wife and I have been loving it. So good. And then how the world is going to end when the mandates actually go through and all of our police and healthcare workers are all fired.
Man.
Any of that stuff. Talk about that stuff. All right, I'm out. Peace.
Are you guys hearing all the predictions that are coming in now because of all the boats circling off the coast of the United States? They say that they're basically going to smash the supply chain and cause real chaos. And I don't know who they are, but there's like running out of gas in the UK, running out of natural gas or carbonation or whatever, soda in the UK, running out of toilet paper in the United States. Costco's putting a limit on toilet paper. Supposedly there's going to be a huge supply chain issue very soon, and we're going to have 6 months of just chaos so that the authoritarian regime can push us even further into being scared and applying new laws. I don't know if
it's not going to happen.
The chat are saying. Good, thank you. Thank you, Hobart. As many as 500,000 shipping containers could be waiting off ports of LA or Long Beach. What's this mean, could be?
It means it's possible. It means it's possible.
What the fuck kind of news article is that? Hey, we're not sure if you should be scared or not. Is that one of your articles, James?
No, that is not.
Okay.
I do have an article about oil prices that are going to go up, but
because my gas is already $5.05 a gallon.
Well, yeah, and there was another major oil spill, as you probably know, off the Huntington Beach coast recently.
Good times.
Yeah, that's my next article.
Let's do it.
The last major spill off Huntington Beach was nearly 32 years ago in almost the same spot. California has 23 offshore oil platforms in federal waters and 19 leases in state waters. Constructed in 1980, the rig is 9 miles offshore in waters that are 265 feet deep. It processes crude oil collected from 2 other nearby platforms in what they call the Beta Field. Yep. These 2 platforms produce up to 8,000 barrels of crude, which is 300, I don't know why they put this in here because no one knows it, 336,000 gallons per day. As much as 3,000 barrels of oil, roughly 130,000 gallons, may have spilled from the pipeline, according to Martin Wilshire, president of CEO of Amplify Energy Corp.
How many gallons a day does it produce, did you say?
336,000.
And that's gallons of crude oil? Do we know what that turns into in terms of gasoline for cars?
I don't know what that turns into for gas for cars.
Okay, sorry, go on.
On Sunday, an estimated 13 square miles of ocean surface were slicked with oil, and the oil is still moving south with currents reaching as far south as Dana Point. Sticky balls and patties of oil are tainting the sand of local beaches. Mostly
balls and tainting.
Sticky
so
balls.
Good.
It's so good. What a wonderful writer. Mostly in Huntington Beach and Newport Beach, officials said Monday afternoon. Your governor, Sevan, Gavin Newsom, who ordered the state of emergency in Orange County, directed state agencies to undertake immediate and aggressive action to clean up and mitigate the effects of the spill.
He's a bad man. So that's 67,222 5-gallon fill-ups, just to give someone an idea. So if the average person in California, I have no idea if this is true, but let's say the average person in California uses 5 gallons of gas a day, that would make it so 67,000 cars can't do that. So every day that's close. And I wonder how much that thing used to produce a day. Like, why would that affect gas prices just because one is shut down? Can you believe we were energy independent under Trump and now we're not? Like, how does anyone think that it's not a good idea to be energy independent? It's bizarre to me. Like, someone could do a lot of fucked up things and maybe like, well, they got us energy independent. That's huge. I mean, basically, when you're not energy independent, you're like, that's like having to go to your neighbor's house every day in order to get food.
Tell me, explain energy independent.
We don't need gas from Australia, Saudi Arabia, Canada, your mom, Mexico. And once you can do that, we can produce anything because then you have energy for it. Like, you can make anything.
So
chop down trees, farm fields.
Why the transition away from that then?
Well,
politics.
They're probably politics. I think there are a lot of other mitigating factors. Like, for example, one of the risks of being energy
pseudoscience around the environment.
One of the risks of being energy independent is that it could potentially tax a lot of natural resources. in your country. Another reason would be like if you have areas of your country where you're drilling oil or taking oil out of that are prone to hurricanes or large natural disasters, that could significantly cripple your energy resources. I think that's one of the reasons. I have an article on this later that we're starting to see oil prices increase. Is a lot of the storms that hit the Gulf Coast, where most of U.S. oil comes from, have significantly affected our gas prices as well as our oil reserves. So energy independence, yeah, obviously could be really cool, but I still think there are some risks to it.
Oh my God, I'm so scared to go outside because like a bird could shit on me.
Well, a bird
that's
shit.
That's what I heard Hobart
yeah,
say.
but a bird.
It's
yeah.
like
No,
we don't want to
bird-
become energy.
That's not.
We
Okay,
don't want to become.
one. I didn't say that we don't want to become energy independent. I was just answering that there are some risks involved in it, and there's a difference between a bird shitting on you and a hurricane fucking annihilating a coastline.
I'm worried about becoming energy independent because then what if we're not energy independent and then what would we do? Like what if a hurricane came and knocked out our independence? Then where would we get our shit because we were independent? It's a fucking nuts.
Oh man.
Sousa did post something very interesting. It showed that not only were we energy independent, but it was the first time since like 1957 that we had actually produced more energy than we used. So we were actually selling energy.
How many
Which, by the way, if you
countries-
give a fuck about jobs, that's also a good thing. And
How
guess
many
who had
countries
those
are
jobs?
energy independent?
Guess who had those jobs? Fucking black people, melanated people, Mexicans, like all the people that we're concerned about, the woke crowd's concerned about, had those jobs. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to cut you off, but you won't let me.
Yeah, cut me off.
How many countries? Well, you won't. I don't know if you'll know this. We need Sousa. How many countries are energy independent? Like, which countries choose to be energy independent? I feel like is what's more interesting to me.
That is a really good question. Once this podcast gets huge, we'll buy everyone a new computer so everyone can like look up their own shit simultaneously. Energy? How many? Are you looking at? No, Hobart, you're doing too much shit already.
No, I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up right now. But I'm gonna follow up on this on next week, just so you just need to get slapped a little bit, Sevan.
I do. Oh, you're gonna really rub it in the importance of like not fucking fracking and all that stuff. Like you're gonna tell me how bad it all is.
I never said that you shouldn't try to be energy independent. I just said that there are risks involved. Don't be obtuse.
There's risks involved. I just think it's pointless. I'm an absolutist. Ask Pat Donner.
No, you're not.
Just like, there's risks involved in driving to your CrossFit gym too. I mean, it's lick
man.
it. Lick it. I'm calling your wife and telling her to put her purse back out into the sun.
Oh man. Well, there you go.
Okay, next story. While Kate solves the world's problems.
Yeah, I'm googling. I found a list that's from U.S. Energy Information Administration, but it's just loading. Okay, international rankings. Okay, number 1 is China, total energy. Oh, this is not even right. Total energy production. All right, fire me.
Oh, well, that's interesting. So it doesn't tell you. So that list, that still could be interesting. That list doesn't tell you who's energy independent, but it tells you who makes the most energy.
Yeah, total energy production from 2018. Number 1 is China. Number 2 is the U.S. Number 3 is Russia. 4, Saudi Arabia. 5, Canada. 6, Iran. 7, India. 8, Australia. 9, Indonesia. And 10, Brazil. And it keeps going.
Hey, and that all makes sense, right? Everything she said makes sense. That's why fucking Russia's so fucking powerful, because they make so much fucking energy. And, of course, India and China need a shitload of power to make all that fucking curry and all those fucking fancy meals they make in those countries.
Yep, this was a fun podcast up until that point.
Racist. I mean, come on, it's obvious why. They both got over 1 billion people. I just had to make a food comment. Why is it talking about what people eat is racist? Like if I told you, like anytime someone says Armenians and Greeks and baklava, baklava.
Have you ever had baklava? You don't need it. It has sugar in it.
But I used to as a kid. I love that shit. Actually, you want to know what? True. Middle Eastern people fucking make the best food in the world. Their desserts suck ass. Baklava is bullshit compared to like chocolate cake. I mean, like it's. I shouldn't have even said it was good. And they sprinkle pistachios on it. Hey, fuck nuts. Pistachios should never be mixed with fucking desserts. No pistachio ice cream, no pistachio on cakes. Pistachio is like not a dessert.
Oh, pistachio gelato is amazing.
I was about to say I have like the best pistachio ice cream out here. It's good.
See?
You
Looks
guys
like
probably don't like bubble
looks
gum ice
like
cream
I'm
either. You guys
taking
are so classy.
I'm taking my balls out of the purse. I'm back, baby.
Now what? Because you're talking shit?
Yeah.
It sucks we can't see you, Hobart.
Next week I'll be back. If you invited me over to your house, maybe.
You know what's cool is you're so stoic. Your face is so stoic. You're always welcome to my house. Your face is so stoic that maybe it's better I don't see it.
Facebook's whistleblowers.
Okay.
A recent whistleblower who released tens of thousands of pages of internal research and documents indicating the company was aware of various problems caused by its apps, including Instagram's potential toxic effect on teen girls. She is set to testify at a Senate hearing on Tuesday. What was her first name? I want to say Lindsay? No. Anyway, Ms. Hogan reportedly filed at least 8 complaints with the Securities and Exchange Commission alleging that the company is hiding research about its shortcomings from investors and the public. Very interesting. This expose in the Wall Street Journal discussing everything from Facebook hiding most of the documents that cover its internal mechanisms to how it knew how toxic its apps were, to how it would aggressively target preteens. I'm just really surprised that this is news and that I feel like everyone already knew this was going on, and I don't know why we needed a whistleblower to tell us this information. But
Yeah.
it's pretty information. And I actually think Facebook's stock dove, X% today because of this, but I'm sure tomorrow it'll be right back up at the top. But anyway.
You mean it's not good for my my daughter to be on Instagram at the age of 12 and be just looking at just tens of thousands of girls with fake lips, fake tits, fake asses, of faces that are photoshopped and all, like, that's bad for little girls?
Surprise.
I didn't know that.
And then they get
I
likes
didn't know that at
on
all.
their photos to tell them if it was good or not.
Yeah, I thought it was just me who was bad, who was like talking about like how your kid's super duper healthy and you don't need to like pump them full of medicine. I thought that was what was evil. I'm so confused.
That's why you're banned.
Hey, it's so funny too. Like, fuck you. I want to punch that bitch in the face and anyone who's covering this story, including myself. Like, hey, dude, 55% of all calories in Mexico are consumed by soda pop. Like, that's worse than anything Facebook will ever do. That, like, you are making kids obese. You're a piece of shit. LeBron, Oprah, I've said it a million times, the Williams sisters, anyone who's selling soda pop, you are, it's 2 kids, you are horrible. And it's just, and the relativity of it all, it's like when this Facebook and Instagram collapsed, I guess the other day for 8 hours or whenever. Do you know what I thought? I just thought it was my phone. Like, oh, I guess my phone's all fucked.
Be honest with me though, but how many times did you pick it up and check to see if Instagram was back on?
Well, you know what happened? You know how,
that's a lot. That's a fucking lot.
No more than I never checked to see if it was back on. Like, hey, I'm checking to see if it was back on. I picked it up and looked at it like out of automatic, like just it's something I automatically do. But here's what happened. I realized how many people had my phone number because so many fucking people started texting me. Not even that Facebook was down, but just people I normally talk to on Instagram. My text just got crazy. I'm like, shit, you got my number?
No one texted me.
Yeah. I have this fight with one of my friends. I was really hoping this would be catastrophic. I really don't need my phone. Like, I really am not addicted to my phone in the slightest. I enjoy it, but it's just another platform. Like, I never look at likes. All I care about is comments. I'm not interested in likes at all. I couldn't tell you, like, any of that stuff. But I do like the platform just because it's a place to publish. And it's a place to face your fears. It's like I was telling Amanda Levy this morning when I interviewed her, hey, you should go live and you should publish more on your Instagram. She goes, it's not me, I feel fake. I know, but you should feel it out. You should just try.
One thing to add to that story that actually makes it a little bit more interesting than just the teenage girls and the toxicity there is actually that...
I think it's toxicity. You dropped the C.
I think that Zuckerberg... testified in front of Congress that they did not have algorithms and different things that involve social engineering and also civil unrest. And in her story, she's saying that they knew that that was happening. They shut it off temporarily during the election and watched how much stuff dropped and then turned it back on, even though Zuckerberg testified in front of Congress that they do not do that. So that's one thing that's interesting about her whistleblowing story.
I hope the fucking GOP rips fucking Facebook and Google apart. Makes them fucking sell that thing 6,000 ways from tomorrow. It sucks. It's the censorship. The censorship is just complete fucking
but you
bullshit.
gotta be careful.
And at first I was like, hey, they should be able to do whatever they want. But now that they're in bed with the government, they can't. They shit the bed. Once you get in bed with the government and you're doing the government's dirty work, fuck you. Like, you can't do whatever you want. We own you now. Great story, James. Thanks. My mom told me I should be more funny, and all you're doing is getting me riled up. I blame you.
Okay, well, this next story is funny, and it's going to be long form, and maybe it's where we wrap it, but I don't know. I feel like we're doing well here, but I just...
928-583-3903, live call-in number.
Damn. Okay. I was just going to kind of breeze through this story, but the more I started reading it, the more I was just blown away at the world-class level of criminality of these two here. So New York mother and son arrested in theft of Pelosi staff's laptop during Capitol riot. So someone stole one of Pelosi's staffers' laptops. All right, here we go.
I like this. This is cool. This is a cool story. This is interesting. I had always heard that it was Pelosi's laptop that was stolen. It's interesting now that it's one of her staffers.
Yeah, I bet a lot of those senators don't really have laptops because when you're 1,000 years old, you can't freaking use one. Anyway,
Right.
A New York mother and son have been charged with the theft and aiding the disappearance of a laptop belonging to the staff of House Speaker Pelosi during the January 6th riot after the FBI initially raided a home 4,500 miles away in Alaska. The FBI on Friday arrested Marianne Mooney Rondon, 55 years old, and her son Raphael of Watertown, New York, in connection with the stolen laptop.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
Yes.
I'm perfectly okay when they fucking storm the Capitol, by the way, with the police there opening fire on the crowd. My dad tells me I'm out of my fucking mind. Dude, you cannot storm the fucking United States Capitol. And I think all the cops there and everyone who runs security there is a bunch of pussies because you shouldn't. There's got to be places that are it's sacrilege and what's sacrosanct, whatever the fucking word is. You shouldn't be allowed to do that. You shouldn't be able to if you if you jump over the fence and get on the White House lawn, you should have a fucking bullet put in your fucking head. Our leaders need to be protected at all fucking costs. Same with our police. You fuck with the cop, you should have your fucking skull smashed in, I think. You fucking go after AOC, who's a complete piece of shit, or Gavin Newsom, who's fucking Hitler reincarnate, you should have your fucking head stomped on. They're elected into office, and they're supposed to be serving us, and we should fucking respect them. I think to call that thing as an insurrection is fucking idiocy, too. An insurrection. Did you see any tanks or cannons or drones carrying grenades or bombs? Shut the fuck up. Insurrection. That was just shitty security. How it's so fucking embarrassing. How do you attack the United States Capitol building with just a fucking bunch of dudes in fucking fur coats and shit? And they weren't. And then inside it shows them hanging out with the guards and talking to them all calmly and peacefully. Fucking man. Why couldn't there just be 1,000 cops that just show up there with billy clubs and just start beating people? I'm serious. Just right there on the lawn. Sorry, the rules don't apply here. This is fucking where our senators and congressmen hang out and try to, nuts. Absolutely nuts. Okay, sorry. By the way, I really love the picture of those two. They look like they're out of one of those movies. What's the guy who used to make all the movies like Kennedy and the director, and he made Natural Born Killers. Hey, Greg, what's up? What was that movie? No. Or the author, Oscar, what's his name?
I'm trying to tell
Harold?
this funny story. You're going off on a rant, and now somebody's calling in. Just answer the damn phone.
It's Lawton. Jesus, I fucked up. I pushed the wrong button. Sorry. I don't know if we can get him back. Oh, man. Oh, shit. Huh. Don't allow the weather out. Okay. Audio. Here we go. You're on the Sevan Podcast with Kate Gordon, Matt Sousa, James Hobart. How can I help you?
What's up?
Hey.
What's up, guys? TJ
Hey.
from Oklahoma.
What's up, Gay?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Hey, real quick, I just wanted to tell James, I love the resources for the affiliate programming. I have my L1. I'm a coach here locally, and we're doing the affiliate programming, and it's amazing. So we switched from Two Brain to the affiliate programming about 2 months ago. Hands down, better deal.
Oh, I didn't know. Chris Cooper, Two Brain, offers programming.
Well, we were told we were doing the Two Brain programming. I think the structure for running the affiliate and all of that stuff is great. As far as advertising and resources for the owners, if the programming we were doing was from Two Brain, I didn't really like it personally. But
Are you comparing apples and oranges though? That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm lost. Someone fix me. You said that you switched from Two Brain to the affiliate program. Isn't the affiliate programming is like how to get your clients fit and how to like from the second they walk in to the second they leave, how to warm them up, work them out, and get them out the door to be happy and make it the best hour of their life. And Two Brain is like what kind of toilet paper to buy and how much to pay your staff and performing with excellence. Isn't that like two separate?
Well, I'm not 100% sure. I listened to your podcast with that the other day. I don't know much about the other side of that. All I was told is that we were doing Two Brain programming, so that I may be inaccurate there.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
But the affiliate programming is amazing, James, and you guys are killing it. So the videos and all of the links and stuff that you send out for the coaches is spot on.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. We actually, thank you. What affiliate are you at?
Jurassic CrossFit.
Jurassic CrossFit. Awesome.
Hobart Park.
Yeah, appreciate that a lot.
Yep. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
And don't DM James and tell him how great it is because he's not going to read it anyway.
Sevan is just mad because I don't respond to him.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm sure if some random guy from Oklahoma DM'd you, you'd get right on that, right?
Yeah, I would.
Get right on anything. Anything his wife tells him to, he'll get on.
Good to know. Hey, the other thing I wanted to ask about, well, second off, Kate, been loving the your guys' podcast. It's amazing. What y'all do, I don't know that I could ever do it, but it definitely makes you think about monogamy and all of those things in a different way. And I think there's good things there, no matter what you want to do. So I like listening to your guys' deal too.
That's awesome. Thank you.
I think is marriage an
you're
archaic? Is marriage an archaic institution?
Yeah, I suppose. I'm not married, but it was.
What do you think, Kate?
Yeah, not to say that it's a bad thing, though. You know, I think it's a traditional thing, but I don't think that necessarily means it's bad. I think yeah.
Oh shit, Kate might be in love, and her whole shtick might be all fucked up.
Well, it's definitely gonna make you think about things. It makes me think about things. Like I said,
Just don't lie. If you're gonna be a pimp, the key to being a fucking motherfucking pimp is just don't lie. A pimp don't lie.
Don't lie.
A pimp don't lie. No, you don't lie. You just love them all and you're honest with them all. You just don't lie.
There you go.
I hate these rich motherfuckers who are juggling 5 girls and then they're lying. Like, fuck you. Like, get in where you fit in. Sorry, rich women juggling 5 cocks. like, just tell them the truth for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
It's okay. You want the ones who you want to know if you really found the right person. Just be honest with them. That will scare away 99% of people.
Right? Yeah. Nobody wants to have a real conversation.
Yeah. Hey, I know I'm 35 years old. My greatest achievement is I don't leave skid marks in my underwear anymore. I mean, just be honest.
Yeah.
Like I conquered that at 34. I now know how not to leave marks in my underwear.
I feel like that was directed
by the
at
way,
me because I'm
49, I haven't
35.
figured that out. What'd you say?
I feel like that was directed at me because I'm 35.
Hobart, you're so pristine. I don't even think you shit. You're one of the few. You're like, You're so pristine.
Is that true, James? You don't shit?
Yeah.
I don't feel like that follows the prescription.
I don't even call it that. I still call it number 2, and I haven't done it in about 23 years.
That's amazing. And the other thing I wanted to just bring up and see if you guys could talk about it was I saw the Precision Care, CrossFit Precision Care kind of went live today, I guess. And just if I don't know how much you guys know about it, what the whole thing is with it. I signed up for it. I think it sounds like a.
Are you rich?
Am I rich?
Yeah.
No.
Isn't it expensive?
I have no idea. I just got on the waiting list. It didn't talk about any of that. I'm assuming that it will work with your insurance and things like that, but maybe not. That's why I was kind of wanting to see what James and Kate might know about it. So.
I have a lot of strong opinions on it that I won't say with James and Kate around, but be prepared in the next couple weeks. I will watch that fucking thing closely. There are some things in there that really interest me.
Yeah, it's a very interesting concept and plan, and I mean,
you work out and you eat right, you'll be good. Stay close to your affiliate owner.
Right on.
If they're not doing you right, switch to another affiliate. The affiliate owners are fucking amazing. People have taken their L1 are amazing. They'll answer a ton of your questions. Stay healthy and eat right, especially now. Be strong. The planet is weeding out the weak right now.
What? Hey, have you heard the comedian that talked about letting your kids, if they're stupid enough to walk off the end of the cliff, that you just need to let them go? Like it's natural selection. If your kid's dumb enough to walk off the cliff, you just need to let them go. We need to get rid of those.
That's how I feel about anyone who comes on this podcast.
They're walking off the end of the cliff.
Yeah. My mom's like, why do these people come on the podcast with you? I'm like, it's okay, Mom. Natural selection. Let it happen.
There you go.
mean, that's a really poor...
You guys take my call.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much.
I love the podcast. You guys are great, and thanks for everything you're doing.
Word.
Take care.
The show's back to you, Hobart.
All right, here we go.
Can we see that? Susan, can you refresh us with this husband and wife?
No. Mother and son.
Mother and son.
But after you hear about the way they go about this great this caper. All right, so here we go.
My mom let me grow weed in the house once. That's a different story.
Yeah, but she was probably more intelligent about it than the way these two went about stealing this laptop. Basically,
we never stole anything together.
A tip to the FBI led them to the mother and son, according to a statement of facts documented by an unnamed FBI special agent. The mother, Mooney Rondon, allegedly admitted to being in both the Capitol the day of the riots and Pelosi's conference room, the documents say. She allegedly provided gloves or a scarf to a man to steal the laptop without leaving fingerprints. Don't want to leave fingerprints when there are cameras everywhere. He said, give me, I don't know if it was gloves or a scarf I was wearing. And like I said, he scared me. There was an Ethernet connected to the computer.
Wait. So she's saying that the thief demanded
a scarf or gloves
from her.
A scarf or gloves.
Okay.
She didn't remember if it was gloves or a scarf that she was wearing.
Okay.
At the time when they were stealing said laptop, there was an Ethernet connected to the computer. This is what her son told the FBI. And he says, if I recall, the guy was going to yank it out. I'm like, dude, don't do that. I mean, just the computer. You can't pull the cables out. It'll ruin everything. So
that's a good dude. That's a good dude. Good dudes. Give him Josh. Send that guy some Good Dudes coffee. That's a good dude.
You'll ruin. Yeah, send some Good Dudes coffee to Raphael Rondon.
Stealing with ethics.
Stealing with ethics. That's exactly it. Mooney, the mother, Mooney Rondon, then said she believes she saw the man put the computer in his backpack. Her son told investigators that he thinks he might have pushed the computer in his bag a little bit using a glove because he didn't want to get his fingerprints on it. He says, so I assisted him a little bit, and that was probably stupid of me. No, dipshit. It was stupid of you to break into the U.S. fucking Capitol. Good Lord.
With your mom. Dude, with your fucking mom. That's crazy. It would have, if I was there and it looked like what it did look like to me, I could have like if I was there with 10 of my friends in high school, I could have easily just walked in there and snapped some selfies. I mean, what a shit show.
Listen to
this guy is hilarious.
Just the best. He's a person. He's the best. So this FBI agent says, however...
Should I get him on the podcast? What's his name?
Raphael Rondon.
I'm so one-track minded. I remember when I used to like girls. Now it's just a podcast.
The FBI agent says, there is probable cause to believe the mother and son are the two people shown in the photographs, plus their alleged admissions to being there. Oh, man. Oh, it's a wonderful story. So that's the caliber of people who... what did you say? Assaulted our Capitol. Anyway.
They look like movie characters. I mean, she looks like she's straight out of like a Godfather film.
She doesn't look happy in that photo, for sure.
Can you imagine breaking into the Capitol and not being happy? God. Then why'd you do it? Hey, did you guys ever see Game of Thrones? That HBO series?
When they killed Ned Stark, I stopped watching. It's like episode 5.
That's what Greg told me. That's what Greg told me too. Not Ned Stark, but when they did the wedding where they killed all. He's like, they killed everyone I like. Everyone. I'm done watching this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that when they killed Ned Stark in that wedding?
No, they kill him early. They kill him like episode 3.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's episode 1.
Maybe it was
sure
episode.
He dies in the first episode.
He's like the, and then he was just the only redeemable character. And then when I saw I was like, oh, I see where this show is headed. Who cares?
Maybe it was episode 1 of like season 2 where he dies. It's somewhere in there.
It's early. It was.
And
it was very
he's
early.
the coolest guy in the whole thing. But
yep.
Where were you going with that, Sevan?
That relationship with that mom and that little boy,
Joffrey.
Oh,
no.
The queen,
no.
or
the boy who likes to push people in that hole that goes like fucking that pit, that cliff.
Oh, the sister that lives like up in the towers. Fuck.
He's like 13 and he breastfeeds.
Yeah.
You probably didn't meet him, Hobart. He came later. Man, that was some uncomfortable shit. Man, I didn't like that. God damn, I didn't like that. Too close to home. Gotta call my mom. Fuck, that was some creepy shit. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Hobart. Oh, so what reminded me of that is that, like, you see, like, they're breaking into the Capitol, and the 23-year-old boy looks like he's like his mom's walking him on a leash. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Can you imagine like egging houses with your mom? Like, what are you doing?
I just can't get over
friends.
Can't get over the fact that they were worried about their fingerprints. Like, that's what they were worried about throughout that whole process. You broke into the U.S. Capitol.
Too many movies.
And you're worried about that's how they're going to catch you. It's your fingerprints.
And there's 20,000 iPhones and cameras there filming everything. I know.
And they were taking pictures of themselves. It's devastating.
He has another quote in that article where he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna like break in or something," and it was like him saying he was there.
Oh, yeah, he said, he goes,
Guilty.
Raphael Rondon told officers that he and his mother took the metro into Washington on January 6th because, hey, I'm not taking my car into the city the Capitol building I'm about to break into.
He said that?
Yes. To an FBI agent.
Oh, so they already knew ahead of time they were going to do that shit?
Yes.
That's why they had they were like, okay, can you imagine them planning that? Being like, guys, don't touch anything. No fingerprints, all right?
Yeah. No, let's take the metro. Let's sneak in.
Shot.
We'll sneak in. We're not going to take the metro. Like, it's not like it's like an Ocean's 13 movie, like, get out of here, man.
Do you know what? I reckon when he was talking to the FBI agent, he would have been pretty proud of their plan, right? Which is why he he's like, well, we didn't want to drive in, man. Like, obviously. Like, we weren't going to touch it with our fingers. Like, come on. Dude.
Fuck. Fuck. I hope he got the vaccine.
Oh my god. I'm gonna glaze over that.
You got any more stories, Hobart?
I have a lot more because we spent so much time talking at the beginning. Like, we have another 6 or 7 stories. So
how many stories have we done? 2?
Maybe
3.
5. I even skipped my dinky dinosaur story. Oh, man.
Can you guys hear Hobart okay?
I'm yelling into the mic.
Can listeners hear Hobart? Good, yeah.
Good.
I saw that post that Brian made today, Brian Friend, and I text him. I'm like, dude, come on the show. It'll be therapeutic for you. He came on for 20 minutes and fucking vanished.
I do like how he came on and then made a jab at me of all people and then left.
What was it? Like, he was basically saying Kyle Kasperbauer is better than you. I barely heard it.
Yeah, and Kyle, yes, he basically possesses things that are totally unattainable to me, and then he left. But if that's what Brian, if Brian needs to turn me into a punching bag, I can take that, Brian Friend. I don't think Brian Friend is sexist.
This show has made $9.17.
Killing it.
John from the UK gave us £2. A guy named Paul K, who made like 20 comments, gave us $5.69. Do you think he did that on purpose? 69, like
yes.
Jonah gave us £1.
100%.
Oh, Jonah. Oh, that Jonah dude gave us.
I think everyone should
Jonah
donate something that says 69.
Yeah, I agree. Or 96, because we're not sexist. It doesn't matter who's on top, right? For that one, 69, 96, like. It's all good.
Well,
What?
okay. Well, there's
you don't
one
think the dude
way
can be on top? You don't think the dude can be on top?
The guy, if he's on top, he would have to be doing so much work because, somebody would have to be doing extra work. Somebody's fucking neck would be put out, or somebody's hip would be put out. I don't know.
Why can't you just put a pillow under someone's head? Put a pillow under her head.
Well, because there has to be some movement. I mean, unless you don't want that, but.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I'm also going to say that I think 69 is overrated.
You could, totally. But it's so fun when you're a kid. You could just, if the girl's on the bottom, she could just grab enough penis, 1 or 2 hands of penis at the base, so just it can't harm her, so it won't make her bring up her lunch. and then she doesn't really have to do anything. She just has to make sure she's just.
I feel like it's not really 69 then, you know?
It's 69 enough for me.
You're going to count it?
No, that's 96.
It's a 60. It's like a 67 almost. Oh man.
Oh wow! I never thought of 67. Wow! I need to write that down and look at those 2 numbers. That's amazing. Oh shit! That's what.
I can't wait to get fired.
You guys are gonna hate this. This is what that's what Logan Aldridge does. He does the 67 because he's only got 1 arm.
Sevan.
Oh, he's just happy he got mentioned in the show. Come on. Oh, Jesus. Okay, got to have Monaghan now to make up for that.
Yep.
Oh fuck!
My mom listens to this podcast, man.
I know, that's what I think too.
I feel
Don't
like you
ever
said
go
that
there.
last
Don't
time
ever
as
think
well.
about your. What'd you say, Kate?
You said that last time as well, and we've been talking about your balls and 69.
Do not. But the balls thing is a joke, though. The 69 thing is real. Hey, Hobart, don't ever go there. That will fucking ruin you. A couple times a show, I think about like my mom or my sister or who might be listening like that, and like, or my wife, and I'm just like, dude, you better block that shit out. You're never gonna be successful if you let those creep into your mind. Okay. Shit. I feel good.
Want to do another one?
Yes, my horse friend. I actually I was Harry. It's funny you bring up my horse friend. I was thinking about maybe telling some more stories
El
about
Caballo.
him. Yeah, El Caballo. I mentioned it to him the other day that I shared this. I mentioned it to him the other day that I told the story. He had this girlfriend, and she always was begging him, please put it in my ass, please put it in my ass, please put it in my ass. And he said he never would. And I don't blame him. Like, this poop is, anyway, that's a whole nother subject about how I feel about poop. But, so, I'm like, you never did it? And he goes, dude, I couldn't put the whole thing in her vagina. How the hell was it going to go in her ass? And then, you know what? She broke up with him. And you know what the first thing he said to me? I wish I would have put it in her ass. Like, fuck. Missed opportunity. I'm serious.
I feel so bad for your
That's his
mom,
first
James.
thought. That was the first thought. She broke up with him. I wish I would have put it in her ass. She broke up with him because she didn't like the job he had. She wanted him to get a fucking better job that paid more money. This guy makes fucking $225,000 a year. She wanted him to fucking get a different job, make more money.
Damn.
Fuck. I know.
I know. Shitty human
She
being.
left him.
He's making
Yeah, it
he's
wouldn't even
making he's
matter if
making
she-
over
he would've
6
made
figures, and he has a
80,000
horse weenie, and like, what more could you want?
Yeah, and he had a house. He was like the first one of my friends to buy a house, a dope house in a dope neighborhood. And by dope, I mean like you can walk to anything. Okay, except it's in California. That's now you can't go anywhere.
Mask mandate lifted in Santa Cruz.
Yes, I've been going everywhere without a mask. It's so weird. But 80% of the people here are still wearing it. Wouldn't you say? Are you here right now, Hobart? You're in Santa Cruz, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's about. I would say maybe a little over half.
You haven't called me. No breakfast, no dinner. When do you leave?
Thursday.
Maybe if you ask your wife if we can hang out a little.
I'll text her. We'll see.
Okay.
What are the rules where you guys are? What's it like not being in jail? Tell me more.
I mean, basically, right now everything comes down to the fact that if you have a job, you're fucked. They're basically telling people it seems like everyone I know who has a job has to fucking get a shot or fucking quit, right? Or they're gonna fire you. So and then your kids. If you can't homeschool your kids, if you can't figure out a way to educate your kids, then you're fucked too. And they're even doing so. They're basically just leveraging that. They're basically trying to turn off your money. And it's working. But the thing is people are angry, right? Like you have people who are coerced into getting a medical treatment, and now people hate you. There's a hum that went away.
Yeah, I just got really quiet.
That's because the air conditioner in Hobart's room just turned off. I bet, right, Hobart?
Maybe we just lost Hobart altogether.
Oh, that would be amazing. Bam! He's gone. Let's talk about 69 more. Fifi Stein says, I love your tattoo, Kate. Can we see it, Kate?
Which one? I have a few. It might
There's
be
one on your shoulder, I think.
this one.
Oh, you have a tattoo in your armpit?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I just got it finished earlier this year. Took a while.
What is that?
So it's similar flower. Like I've got one on my shoulder, I've got one in my elbow, and now one in my armpit. It's a chrysanthemum, but it's kind of like a interpretation of a chrysanthemum. It's not super realistic.
Wow, that's awesome. I was never attracted to armpits until I started doing CrossFit.
Oh.
And then I noticed just over the years, just because there's so many pictures of women and men hanging like this,
it's
that
like,
I've really learned to appreciate this whole part of the body, the lat, the breast, the shoulder.
And when you see people's like
tricep,
bicep and shoulder
Yeah.
and lat, it's like the same thing when you're looking at that video of what was the chick who cleaned 200 and whatever pounds. It's like her butt and hamstring and quad.
Vicky.
It's the same thing. If
Yes.
she did this with her arms would just like separate out. It'd be sick.
Yeah.
She'd have veins as well. She's got stomach veins. She'd have veins everywhere.
I mean, we've reprogrammed ourselves in this community. I mean, I know it's cliche, but our aesthetic, we've completely, because of what we look at, we've completely reprogrammed ourselves.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have lats, like something's Something's wrong with you.
Well, you get the feeling, like, especially being like a fucking muscular woman, it's like you go into a gym and you're like, this is fine, this is normal. The second you're not in a gym or a CrossFit environment, you're like, oh, why are people looking at me weird? And you're like, oh, that's right, I don't fucking look normal. Okay, cool, move on with my life.
Yeah, dudes don't experience that. Isn't that a trip?
Yeah.
No, I think they do to some extent. Like, not as much, but I was in the airport, and then I was watching.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's because your body's fucking insane.
No, I'm not talking. I was going to tell a story about my wife, actually, but let's just answer this call because I'm sure it's going to be really insightful.
And then we'll go back to talking about your wife's body. Does your wife listen to the show, Hobart? Live?
She's listened to a couple of
they
these.
hung
No,
up.
not live. She's 100% asleep.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, I was
Does she give you feedback?
I was in the airport the other day, and it was I was watching just people walk by, and then I watched her walk by, and it was like, it's almost like watching, I don't want to say a different species, but like, just like her pattern of movement and like the way she carries herself and like the structure of her body. It's like, I could not see her face. She could be wearing like, I don't know, like a ski mask, and I could be like, oh, that's my wife. You could just tell, like, just because of her athleticism and the way she takes, and you can even see like other people. There was someone else who would walk by and be like, okay, that's someone who really takes care of their body and cares about movement and what they do. Like, it's a wild thing to see. And it's not even just about musculature. It's like about their gait and how they stand and like the way they react to their surroundings. It's really bizarre when you take time to look at it.
Airports are the best.
I agree 100%.
Airports are the best for like watching that as well, right? Like you just see so many different people.
Yes. And now they just give it away because everyone has either like a Rogue shirt on. I cannot believe how many Rogue shirts I used to see towards the end of my travel days.
Nanos are such a big giveaway.
Yes.
Yeah, the footwear is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only good shoe
Nano
left
snowballs.
is the Victos.
Oh yeah, somebody was commenting on them on YouTube.
Yeah,
Said
the
you should
Victos
be
Core,
sponsored by
only
them.
good shoe. I wrote them and I said, you motherfuckers have to sponsor me. They're like, no, sorry. I'm like, oh.
At least they responded to you.
Seriously, I think I sent like 2 or 3. I know, it is cool they responded to me. I'm like, come on, man, I fucking love your shoes. Hook me up. I go, you guys used to hook me up. They're like, well, the dude you had as a contact here doesn't work here anymore. I'm like, well, that's okay. I still love your shoe.
We fired him because he was hooking
I don't
people
think
up
they
too
realized
much.
how much I really love their shoe. What? What'd you say?
We fired him because he was hooking people up too much.
Oh, maybe. But I don't. If they knew how much I really love their shoe, they would hook me up. Or how does Reebok not make the Nano 2? Everyone loves that shoe.
Go on eBay,
And they
man.
stopped making it, right?
They've re-released.
I don't want
They've
to- I have
re-released it
20
multiple
pair.
times.
I have 20 pair. Oh, you used to work there. That's why you're getting a little defensive. Okay.
No, I don't think their 2 is the best shoe.
What is their best shoe, Hobart?
I actually think the new Nano X1 is their best shoe.
Have them send me a pair, and I'll tell you if it's true.
I don't think I have that kind of pull anymore, but maybe if you're real sweet to me, I'll get you a pair for Christmas or whatever you celebrate.
Kate, what shoe is better for the tiebreak? The Nano 2 or the KS135 that Hobart likes?
I never owned the Nano 2. I actually think the Nano 9s, I think it's the 9s, are my favorite.
Well, 9 is closer to
But
X, so...
I have the X I really like. I have had to hack them a little bit for running, but they're the most comfortable shoes I have for running now that I've kind of buffed out some of the seams.
Uh-oh, so here comes Sousa. Here comes Sousa.
$94.
The Nano 9 was too heavy. For a Nano 2? I probably have 20 pairs of brand new Nano 2s. And the thing with the Victos is it's a way fucking cooler shoe. Not as well built. Slightly more comfortable. But way cooler. But they're both so fucking comfortable. Once you wear the Nano 2, you can never wear another shoe. It really is like that. It sucks. It really sucks. It's like being barefoot. It's like the original barefoot shoe. Your toes aren't smashed. Your toes don't have to touch each other. Like one of your toes could have herpes and your other toe never catch it.
But it wasn't quite durable enough. It is a comfortable shoe. Oh, man.
Okay, Hobart, let's go on.
Oh, we're going. All right. The Shadow Presidents. Former press secretary Stephanie Grisham released a book recently detailing her time working in the Trump White House. On Tuesday, she said that Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump, former President Trump's son-in-law and daughter, saw themselves as Shadow President and First Lady.
Wow, I believe it.
Grisham said Kushner got really heady with power, surprise, surprise, and would insert himself into initiatives that he was not qualified to take part in. She said she believes that while Kushner is an intelligent man, Ivanka Trump is the brains and the smarter one, noting that she is very controlling of her image and remains calm and controlled in person, which Grisham said is unlike her father, Donald Trump. So, we in the East Wing would do what we could to stop it or mitigate it, she added. But at the end of the day, it's his daughter and son-in-law, and nobody could work around them. Not surprised.
That's how it was. That's how it was when there was a time when I was at CrossFit. I know people are going to think I'm trying to be funny, where like I thought I was the CEO. Now I don't work there, and I think I'm the CEO. But there was a time when I lived with Greg for like three years in 2009, 10, 11 or something, and I was just there for everything. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm pretty much just the co-CEO. I was everywhere with them. I was in his fucking house, sleeping in the fucking upstairs bedroom. I raised Avi the first year in that house. So I understand when you're really close to power like that, and the source, and you're contributing so much, you just think that, yeah, you get confused. I'm still confused. But it's okay. It's fun. Is there anything bad about that? That they thought they were the shadow president?
Yeah.
I know it sounds kind of bad.
Know your damn role, people.
Right.
Have a little bit of humility. You're in the White House with no probably real managerial, political knowledge, geopolitical knowledge, understanding of government. I don't know. Is it bad? Yeah, I think it's bad. But then look at all the politicians.
They're just titles. Like I don't think it's bad. Like I just hear it as like they were massive contributors and they wanted to stay close to Trump because he was in power. It was his daughter, and they felt like they could contribute. Why can't it just be like that? Why does it have to be something sinister? Like the
pejorative of shadow.
Like look. Well, yeah, but just racist. Shadows are black. Racist. Listen, the current. I mean, the accusations for the current president's son are fucking crazy, and the video to boot is even crazier. You've seen the videos, right, on Instagram where it shows Joe Biden saying that if you're doing smoking crack, you should be put away for life, and then in the split frame it shows his son fucking smoking crack. I mean, it's like, come on, man. The deals with China, all that shit. That I think, Hobart, you're being influenced by the emotional appeal of that article. And that you have something against shadows, and it worked on you. You were tricked by magicry.
100% hate shadows. I don't have one.
Pristine. Oh my goodness, you could totally be the fucking hot, sexy vampire, Hobart. Holy shit, you're white enough. Is your ass whiter than your face, dude? You are white.
I wish my camera could work, because that would be the one thing we need to bring to this podcast.
Shot of your
just
ass.
A little bit of nudity, yeah.
Well, you were gone to entertain the listeners. Kate showed us her armpit.
Oh, well.
For everyone who has an armpit fetish.
Awesome. If you post pictures of your armpits and your feet, Sevan, tomorrow on Instagram, I'm going to lose my mind.
I'll never post my feet again.
God.
I was trying to impress Kate, and I fucked up. That was fucked up. I got fucking played hard.
I want to figure out what else I can get you to post now.
Fuck that. Shame on... What is it? Shame on me, shame on you? No, shame on you the first time, shame on me the second time.
Fool me once, shame on you.
Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yes.
Thank you.
I
want someone to go through all our podcasts and just make an hour-long video of Hobart breathing.
It's just how I show my exasperation.
I have to go to work now. You guys are the best. Love the podcast. Thanks, Harry. Okay, let's go. Fifi Stein. Fifi Stein. Is that your real name? That's amazing. Love your tattoo, Kate. Show all of them. Did James just say weenie?
Yes, I did.
Okay, should we do one more article? Been on for
how fired up do you want to get?
I have a 7 a.m. podcast. Can I go pee real quick?
Yeah.
Before we do this last one?
Yeah, you can. 2 hours in before our last story, you can definitely go pee. I missed whatever you guys were talking about when I came back, and then you were talking about something about bodies and women's bodies being judged.
You had a story that you didn't finish as well. You were gonna tell us something about your wife. Yeah, no, we were talking about armpits and how much Sevan likes armpits now because CrossFit tends to include a lot of armpits in photos and media.
Well, I get what
we got to.
On athletic functional people, it makes a good shape with the rest of the body. Like if you have a lat like that, when you raise your arm overhead, it looks good. And if you don't have lats and you just raise your arm up and you look like a little bean pole, it's not as good. But no, the story was the airport story.
It.
Wow, that was a long pee.
The enlarged prostate from all that TRT.
My prostate?
Yeah.
You're never gonna. Oh shit! I left the lights on. You're never gonna believe who I'm having on the show tomorrow. Never gonna believe.
I probably don't even know who it is, Sevan. That's the real kicker. But. All right, should we go? Should we get Sevan really fired up? Because I have a story that's about the new COVID pill, or I have a story about empathy, which is a nice story.
Those are two subjects that I'm experts on.
Oh, man.
Alexander Volkanovsky at 8 p.m. tomorrow with Josh Bridges. Alexander Volkanovsky. Can you fucking believe it? I'm going to try to act cool, but it's like the prom queen just said yes to me for a date. It's fucking
who
nuts.
Is that?
I would look him up. Alexander Volkanovsky. He's the shit. He's fucking Australia. He has all of Australia's testosterone between his legs. One man.
That's legit.
It's crazy. And Josh used to have all of America's, but he fucking lost it all. Bam! There he is.
Oh, damn.
5'6".
Oh, he's referred to as Alexander the Great.
Yes. Oh. Look at that picture. He used to weigh 240, I think, and now he's 145. Look at that. It's crazy.
Is he just
such a good
fighter? Is he
fighter.
Just battering people?
I mean, he just handled Brian Ortega for the championship. But being 23-1 in mixed martial arts is insane. His record is insane, and he doesn't. I want to say he doesn't get the respect he deserves, but I mean he'll get it. It's coming. That's kind of cliche to say that. Okay, what would you like, Kate? Empathy or pills?
Can I throw it to Hobart? I feel like he should guide.
All right,
this.
I'll save the empathy one because
she would have said empathy. I was going to say something sexy.
Yeah, I'll save the empathy one because it's something I want to talk about more in long form. Ideally next week. You know what? I'm going to skip the COVID pills too, just so we can keep this podcast. We're going to talk about tax havens.
Oh yes, tax havens.
If you haven't heard, the Pandora Papers is a leak of almost 12 million documents and files exposing the secret wealth and dealings of world leaders, politicians, billionaires, and Sevan Matosian. The data was obtained by the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists in Washington, D.C., and has led to one of the biggest ever global investigations. A trove of these papers outline how global elites squirrel away their wealth to avoid tax. there was a similar leak 5 years ago called the Panama Papers. These documents showed how many of the world's wealthiest people routinely avoided any type of tax by placing their assets in tax havens, nations or jurisdictions with low tax rates. While banking abroad isn't illegal, some Americans and U.S. companies failed to report earnings. Congress cracked down on this in 2010 with the Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act, which required international banks to report U.S.-owned accounts. Now, a few years later, other countries agreed to disclose foreign-held assets to each other, known as the Common Reporting Standard. However, the U.S. doesn't follow this practice, so a lot of international wealthy people have been hiding their money inside the U.S., and I guess North Dakota is the hot spot to buy lots of land and hide a lot of your dough.
Oh, like if you're a rich dude in Spain, you hide your money in the U.S.?
Yeah.
And specifically in the Dakotas? I looked up the word. I think tax havens for the most part, aren't illegal. I think that... I don't know if like what I have a problem with and don't have a problem with here. Like this is another one of the stories that I feel like it's just like hating on the rich. So I had a friend of mine who made hundreds of millions of dollars and he moved out of California and moved to a state that had a much lower tax rate, right? I think it was zero state income tax, and so he saved like $30 million, and in 1 year, and so. And he had to actually turn on an app on his phone that tracked where he went so that he could prove that he lived in the state for at least 6 months and 1 day of the year. And it's like what, I don't know if I have a problem with that. I'm open to having a problem with it, but like I don't see the problem with it. I would do it. I don't think it's like immoral or unethical. It's not like I'm going to take that $30 million and flush it down the toilet. I'm going to actually spend it and create jobs and all sorts of fun shit with it. You know what I mean? I'm going to buy 20 cars with it, and dudes at dealerships are going to make money, and people who make little plastic parts in China are going to make money. Everyone's going to make money. I'm going to spend that $30 million. Are tax havens bad?
I don't necessarily think they're bad. But, I just think, I'll start there. I don't think they're bad.
Are they bad, Kate? See that, Suze? I engaged her.
I think it's like it's the rich just get richer, right? Or avoid having to give away some of their money.
Yeah, and
I don't know. I feel like a lot of it's done like you said, like a lot of it's done legally. If they've figured out how to work the system, then it's like the system's kind of been set up like that. So maybe the system's what allows it rather than the people that are rich, and maybe we're pointing the finger at the wrong person.
This is my perspective. The government, everyone who works for the government is on welfare. We all pay taxes, and it goes into this giant fucking pile. And the first people who take from that pile are the people who work for the government, the state employee, and not even like the good people who work for the government. I'm not talking about like the guy who cuts the trees for the city. I'm talking about the politicians, the bureaucracy people. They're at the top of the food chain for welfare recipients. We pay them money, and then from there, all of our tax dollars trickle down until finally they hit like school teachers and cops and like the guy who cuts the trees in the street, and then some welfare checks are paid. And so like I just figured that there's a giant, basically a welfare fund we pay into. I think is a very healthy way to look at it, and politicians are the first people who take from that fund, which is just fucking nuts. So then when I hear something like a tax haven, all I hear is like, okay, then the rich people are going to spend the money instead of our government. And what do they spend it on? They spend it on gardeners, they spend it on haircuts, they spend it on buying cars, they spend it on restaurants, they spend it on hotels. Like, that's cool. That's money for all of the rest of us. They spend it on videographers. They spend it on like website design,
podcasts.
It's podcasts. Like it still goes back into the system. Rich people are not sitting there burning money. Why would you want them to be? All you fucking idiots who want to tax fucking rich people. Do you fucking understand that the money then just goes to the government? Why not let them spend it and give it directly to us? Fucking idiots. And the government is not doing good things with it, so stop thinking it is. Look what they did in New York. They put tens of thousands of old people in fucking old folks' homes, and they died of COVID because of that, because of the what they enforced them to do. Meanwhile, our health secretary knew this was happening, United States Health Secretary, and she pulled her 90-year-old mom out of the nursing home in Pennsylvania. Have you ever seen our health secretary, Kate?
No.
Can you show a picture of her, Sousa? Or him? I can't remember if he went from a her to a him or a him to a her, but it went into it did the transition thing. And it was in she I don't know if it's she or he. I don't know what the word. There it is. Rachel. Oh, it's a her. So I don't know if Rachel was a dude or a chick at the time, but she was the in charge of health for the state of Pennsylvania. That's one of our 50 states. And she basically, during the COVID crisis, she pulled her 90-year-old mom out of nursing homes, a nursing home in Pennsylvania, and brought her home. Meanwhile, in Pennsylvania, old people were being pushed into nursing homes and died of COVID, knowing that it would spread in there like wildfire. Fucking nuts. And then Biden makes her the assistant secretary for health. And she's okay with kids who are 12 years old or something like that, crazy like that, getting sex change operations. No. And it has nothing to do with sex change operations. You shouldn't be fucking with a 12-year-old's hormones, period. 12-year-olds shouldn't smoke weed. They shouldn't do anything to alter the brain chemistry. They shouldn't drink alcohol. They shouldn't eat sugar. And they sure as fuck shouldn't do a direct assault on their hormones. And by the way, that's why you don't eat sugar as a kid, too, because it's a direct assault on your hormones. But you don't fucking, like... if they want to chop their penis off or get a penis or whatever, wait till they're older. Let the fucking brain chemistry and everything settle. It's like getting a nose job when you're fucking 12. Like, excuse me, that thing is going to fucking grow huge still. Right, James?
Correct.
James, do you have a perfect nose? Can I see you for a second?
Let's give it a shot.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. God damn it. It's nice. It is. It's good. It's good.
We went there tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kate and Matt.
You're welcome. What's it?
Thank you guys. Have we made it? Did we make it to the end?
No.
Are we landing the ship?
Yeah, but just like regular dudes, Kate, we don't care.
The plane.
We don't care.
Land the ship plane.
We don't care if we made it. Hey, Hobart, what's the deal with next Sunday?
Good to go next Sunday.
Kate?
Yeah, good to go.
So, guys, just so you know, what looks like is what happens is if we do it on Sunday, it's going to be at 6 p.m. If we don't do it on Sunday and we do it like on some other fucked up night, and we're kind of like we've hitched this wagon to Hobart. So if Hobart works on Sunday night, then we can't do it Sunday. So then we do it another day of the week, and then it gets pushed later, and then it's because of my kids. I can't do it at 6, so we push it to like 7 or 7:30. So if you have any complaints, send the DMs not to Kate Gordon, not to Sevan Matosi, not to Matt Souza. Yeah, who's that pointing at you? Send them to @James Hobart. Ooh, nice guns. Oh, yeah. It's nice.
CrossFitters have nice armpits. They do. It's just a fact.
I am up way past my bedtime, says Logan Mars. He's 55. He fucking should have been in bed at 8. That's the guy who called, I think. Wow, the gang is all here from Jenny Sock. That was when Brian was on. I'm just cruising through these real quick, see if anyone needs any love. Fix Hobart's audio.
We got it fixed.
Sevan, when are you starting your testosterone cycle? Oh, do you guys want to talk about the Ricky Garard podcast at all? Do you guys have any strong... We kind of need Brian here for
I only watched the first couple... I didn't really watch it, I'll be honest.
Did you watch it, Kate?
I saw the post that was put up on social media of Chase being like, "Did you or did you not?" And he was like, "Yeah." That was the clip that was put up. That everyone was sharing that.
I just feel like let's
That's all
move
you saw.
on from that shit. You know, like aside from Pat Vellner, like I don't think anyone else needs to have a gripe. And it's just, you know, like
I agree.
life is long
I agree.
and people change.
I don't know if that's totally true what you
Yeah,
said,
but-
but I do think Vellner can have a great.
Yeah,
but you're right.
but he's the guy who was in the arena. Like no one else was there. I just, you know, it's just like life is long. People change. It's complicated. People make mistakes. Some mistakes maybe irredeemable. Most of the mistakes you make, probably not. All that classic throw stones, glass house shit.
Really?
Yeah, I don't.
Why aren't most of your mistakes redeemable?
No,
What are you
I
talking
think
about? You mean
I
like that
no.
tattoo
I
that Kate got in her armpit?
exactly. I know. I think most mistakes are redeemable. You know, but it's like I think the attitude is like
are redeemable.
The
Okay.
attitude is like Ricky did steroids and he's built his foundation and he has steroids in his system and he benefited from that, and you know we can never unchange that. And it's like, well, you know what? If we're going to take that argument, then everyone competing at some, not everyone, a lot of people competing at some point in their life have probably had some competitive edge that wasn't necessarily due to all of their hard work. You know, it's like so and so's genetics. Like, are you just gonna be like, well, he's genetically better, so we can't let him compete? It's just stupid. You know, it's like, let's move on from the Ricky thing. Let him compete. If he wins, great. He's probably not going to win 5 in a row like Fraser did, so like that argument's not going to matter. And if he does, when we get to that point, then we can have that argument. There you go. Last word with James Hobart. Move on from the Ricky thing, people. Jesus.
Well, you know that fourth games that Froning won. That was all bro reps. He was so Rich Froning was so intimidating and so beloved, and if you would have given him a no rep, the fans would have come down and killed you as the judge. And so Rich Froning did not really win that fourth one, and it was all bro reps.
Okay,
And that was his unfair.
Then great.
advantage.
He didn't, and he went and won 4 more with the teams. Like, it's just like, guys, let's move on. Like, there's just so much other good stuff going on in the world. Killing me. You're killing me, people.
I would bro rep the shit out of Rich. Can you imagine if you were judging Rich the whole time? Like, you'd be like, hey, what's up? Like, you're not even counting his rep. You'd be like, hey, whenever you're done, you just move on to the next thing. You do you, buddy. I'm just here just checking
I
you
would
out.
no rep
I'm
him
on
into
Team
oblivion.
Not me.
Judging is fucking terrifying, though.
Horrible. Hey, Rich, when you're done with this workout, could I have your shirt? 20. You're done. You're done.
You're wringing the shirt, the sweat. You're wringing the sweat onto you.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
Hey, dude, do you want a
my God.
67?
Hey, you should have your you should have your wife sell the water that's in the jar with your balls. You should have her
All right.
sell
On that note, I think it's time to take us off the air, Matt Souza.
All right. He can't do it. I do it. He's a one-trick pony. And we're done.
Well, I can't wait to lose my fucking job after that. Oh no, we're still recording.
What are you talking
we're definitely
about?
still recording.
Every